to tell me I came out with DeAndre Swift over Bijan.
Where Jordan Davis just, still play the same.
Yo. What's going on, everybody, man? It's another episode of Inside the Nest, man. I'm your boy, King DV, rocking the Kelly Green, because it's that week. I'm with my co-host. What's going on, bro?
Man, a lot to get into, man, but it's another Wednesday, man. Listen. I'm telling you, man. I told you on the phone, man. I think big things coming for us, man, and I think the Eagles, we gonna be rocking and rolling here real soon, man. I think it's gonna be real interesting. But we're gonna talk about a little bit. We'll talk about We'll talk about
what we getting into first, though. Like, that's what I'm trying to see. What we getting into first?
I mean, the rumor mill is cranking up, man. So I'm hearing a lot of things going on, but we are 5-1. You feel me? We are 5-1, but I hear things ramming up. We looking for safeties, we looking for possible DB, starters and depth. So it could be one of those things where we could be making a splash here in a couple of days, or if not this week, for sure going into next week, we're gonna see something happen because how we don't sit, bro. I mean, people looking at the Julio Jones situation and they judging, the signing because he old and stuff like that. But he brings a dynamic to the offense in a couple scenarios, especially in those 3rd and 3s, 3rd and 4s. I mean, yeah, you want to go to Dallas Goedert. Yeah, you want to go to A.J. Brown in that slant. But people are starting to key in on that. You got to add an extra element to your offense sometimes just to throw people off, even if he only a distraction. He doesn't have to be a target monster. Give him 5, 6 targets a game, something like that. Just work him into the offense just a little bit. You seem to want to pass anyway, so now that's an extra target inside the red zone. Instead of having to try to run mountain flank screens with Boston Scott at the 15, or you trying to do pocket screens with Dallas Goedert at the 7. Like, let's figure out a way to get other stuff going. Like, we can figure it out, and now you got an extra element. He's a veteran. He can come in and help some of your younger receivers out that you got on the practice squad, that you got in the locker room already. He can show you some things, and if he got something in the tank like he said he do today, if he is ready to dominate, then it might be a scary weapon. Imagine Julio coming in and putting up 500 or 600 yards for us. Imagine him coming in and putting up 4 or 5 touchdowns. Like, this could be something. Is it? I don't know, because the last 3 years that I've watched Julio Jones, he's been hurt. So I haven't really been able to evaluate where his game is at. But he had better numbers than Quez last year from what I've seen somewhere. So, I mean, it wasn't stat wise. It was like yards per route ran and yards per reception, something like that. Like where he caught the ball at and stuff like that was better than Quez. But I mean, I think like he could bring something, man. I don't know what he bring, and he played a lot of slots, so people think it's Smitty going to the slot. No, he might be the slot. Quez Watkins with the IR. Like, I know people scared because they see Devontae Smith on the injury report today, but Devontae Smith been on the injury report like 3 weeks in a row, and he's played every game. So, remember last week he was ill. Then the other week, I think it might have just been rest. But, you know what I'm saying? He's been on the report. I mean, hamstring for him. I think he had a hamstring last year for a little while, and he still played. So I don't think it's nothing to do with Devontae Smith this signing. The only signing I do not like, and but what can I do? I don't run management. I ain't in the front office. I can't really put my foot down and tell them to please don't put Mr. 3rd and 30 on the field. I mean, but Sidney Brown back. That's a good thing.
Josiah Scott, people. This is who he's talking about. Josiah Scott. What's going on?
They know who it is. They know who Mr. 3rd and 30 is.
Scott. Anyway.
Shakita. See, man, every time I see it, bro, I see the little fruit lady. And I hear Gucci Man saying it in my head.
So with this AJ Brown signing, man, a lot of people, you got some people, well, some Eagles fans basically saying that no, this is not a good signing, man. He's washed up. Is that third? They're not looking at what he brings, man. I'm not looking at him to be Julio Jones from the South. I'm not looking at him being Julio Jones with Tom Brady. I'm looking at him still having something left in the tank, still having something left to prove at age 34. That's going to actually command respect in the wide receiver room. And these guys are going to listen to anything that he say. Hey, run this route this way. Hey, you should do this. Hey, if you do this more, hey, you're open. I'm looking for that. On top of that, he's a bigger body, extra body that you can put in the red zone to help with the red zone offense. Number one, number two, he's a good blocking receiver. So you do put him in the slot, and you hand the ball off to DeAndre Swift or Jalen Hurts running the rock off RPO. You got that extra block in that set. It's so much more than just the name Julio Jones. Like we're not looking for somebody that we got 1A, 1B already. Let's not forget that. And we still got Dallas Goddard. Julio Jones is going to be that added piece, whereas though that the veteran is going to come in and do his thing. Alameda is doing his thing too, but I don't know why Brian Johnson is not putting him into different sets more, because I think that he's a way better or more multi talented than a guy like Quez Watkins. Quez Watkins, all they can talk about is his speed. Alameda got some speed to him too. He's not as fast as Quez Watkins, no, but he also blocks. He also know how to run off of screens. He also know how to run routes better than Quez. He does a lot more. So this is why I'm happy with the signing of Julio Jones. And a lot of people, content creators, God forbid, if something was to happen to 1A or 1B, you have a vet like Julio Jones that know how to play the outside. So, and he can play the one game or two games that needed for the other guy to heal up. It's the reason why we got this guy. That's what I'm saying, that you got to stop looking at him to think like, oh, he's going to get this done and this done, or he's washed because, he's 34 years old. You got to look at him what he's going to bring. We already had. And I think a lot of guys are not doing it. They just sitting up there thinking that, oh, we hype about Julio Jones, and then I seen something basically saying, and I've seen it. I ignored it when Cole tweeted, added us on it. I ignored it. Talk about something. Basically, he went and go. After a loss, we went to go get AJ Brown's friend. No, that's not why we got him. Nick Sirianni spoke about it today and basically was like, "Yo, we got him because we needed more depth at the wide receiver. We needed somebody like a veteran presence that's going to set the tone for us, and that's what he's here to do. And I applaud the signing. I was more happy about that signing of a 34-year-old wide receiver in Julio Jones, seven-time Pro Bowler, than a Josiah Scott that knows the playbook, but he sucks. He sucks. So I really believe that.
Good God, I pray, please.
I really believe that Sidney Brown does play on Sunday, and I also believe that Reed Blankenship would probably try to play with a vest. He's going to try to protect himself. I know Lane Johnson is going to
the padded vest. You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, it's interesting, man, because them ribs, dog, it's really pain tolerant. You know what I mean? How much pain can you tolerate while being on the field? I mean, Sidney back though. Sidney back. Yeah. That right there made me happy to see him say he 100%. I think he could have went last week. I think they just really was like, nah, we're gonna give you one more week, make sure everything, because we put you back in. I think they're gonna ramp him up, bro. I really do.
I want to be shocked. Yeah, he been hit in the ribs twice. Yeah, AJ. Shout out to you. You think he was coming? You came through. Yeah, he's been injured with his ribs and all that. That's going to be an issue going down the line, and this is why you need to make the trade sooner than later. I know they probably want to test out. They want to test out basically how we do against the Dolphins before they see what moves that we need to make. It's rumors about all top guys, cornerbacks, safeties. There's rumors about those guys. So it's just at the end of the day.
Can somebody take Barnett from me, please?
Barnett needs to go and work at a meat shop.
Nah, don't send him to the meat shop. He might slip and try to guard the meat.
No. That's a whole pause, but yeah. But no, I think Barnett don't need to be on the field. I think Barnett is out of shape. I think that he's stuck. I think that so yeah, I think that Jerry Barnett he's not going to be crazy unless somebody's very desperate. I know the Raiders was looking for a pass edge rusher. So if somebody's very desperate, they take him off our hands. He'll get more snaps there. They ain't looking to do nothing this year anyway.
It's man, I don't even know what to say. Because Barnett is just everybody want to cape for Barnett. Oh, he gonna have a breakout season. What a breakout at?
Because they always say stuff like, "Yo, if he stops the penalties, he's a great player."
He stopped the penalties and now he looked horrible.
That's what he was for. That's what he was for. He was for just having the penalties, basically backing us up, and giving offense, the opposing offense, an opportunity to actually go down the field and score. He was hurting us more than helping us. So why would we keep somebody like that? Why would we sit up there and give him a Nolan Smith rep, or why would we give him a Sweat or a Brandon Graham or Hassan Reddick? Why would we give him those reps?
Buddy hit him with the
and that was he was young. That's a young
man. Bruh, I gotta play the clip.
A free play for Wilson.
Cut it loose.
In the pocket. Over the middle. He's got Garrett.
Crazy, bro. Crazy work. That was crazy work, bro.
Bruh, he didn't. That man sucked. That man sucked, bro.
He do. And that's what I'm saying. Like, yo, get him off my team. He's not doing anything. I think they're going to keep Quez Watkins to be that expert, like punt return or whatever like that. I think he's done as just being on the field, period. I think he's done. On offense, I think he's going to be like a special teamer. It's okay. I'd rather him do that. Honestly, just use his speed that way. Just have him, hold on to the rock. But at the end of the day, Quez Watkins probably going to be out of the rotation.
I don't see a way for him to be in the rotation. He ain't doing nothing. He been hurt all season.
Mm-hmm.
He been looking crazy, bro. It's like you did all this talking, bro. You did all this. I'm gonna make this and I'm gonna make that, and now you look foolish. You look like you did a bunch of talking. Now everybody gonna call you out.
Well, I knew the Eagles wasn't playing with his ass when they stood up there and was like, "Yo, we like bringing in Olamide. Why are you bringing in Olamide?" And then Olamide, the first thing he said in the interview was, "I'm here to compete for a position." The first thing he said.
Well, we knew Quez was. I told you that though in the offseason. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted him to compete for his job. You can't just keep giving him a job, bro. If he ain't getting the job done, you can't keep competing for. You can't keep letting him do this, bro. You gotta make him work for it. So he worked for it, and then he ain't showing up.
This is why when Smitty and Olamide or whoever was blocking for him, and he didn't run for that first down.
That was it. That was the final straw.
He's not working for it. Nick Sirianni pissed off on the side, number one. Number two, it was, for me, the whole end zone. And John Hurts was like, "No, bro, I don't even trust you. I'm going to try to see if Smitty, grab this over this." The two people flipped over him. What are we talking about?
Is this a Dolphins fan?
A Dolphins fan.
I don't know. He keeps saying, he said speed kills, so I'm trying to figure out who, unless that's one of your people. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. It probably is. It probably is. It probably is. But at the end of the day, I think that Quest Watkins is out of here on offense.
It's
If
definitely
he's not
possible.
playback, he's gonna be just special teams until his contract run out next year, and that's it. Because I deserve those reps, man. He made some impactful plays already, with and without getting the ball. So I think Quest Watkins needs to be out of here. This is just not the team for him. He need to go somewhere else. Maybe he'll have an outbreak like Nelson Aguilar. Maybe he'll have something like that with the next team, but not this team.
He said speed kills, so I'm gonna assume, right? I see a cheetah and I see a horse, so I'm gonna assume he a Dolphin fan.
That name sounds like a tick though.
I mean, he on my page, or she on
Okay.
my page. He or she, I don't know, but I'm assuming they a Dolphin fan. I mean, we ain't ready to get into that segment, but we can. We can circle back to the loss. We can circle to the.
Not yet. Let's do the loss real quick, because I want you to get your stuff off, because you didn't really, do what you needed to do on the Broad Street and all that. We talked about this last night when we was doing the breaking news, but you need to talk your ish. You really do.
Listen. The way I feel about that game, it was disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
It was deliberately disgusting by Brian Johnson to keep calling these stupid plays, keep running this idiocracy. He keeps doing the same thing over and over again, and he's not making no progression. Like, yeah, when you look at the stat sheet, it looked like he spread the ball around. But you got to stop spreading the ball around when it's 3rd and 8, when it's 3rd and 10, when it's 2nd and 12. Like, how about 1st and 10? Let's make some smarter decisions. Then you get 2nd and 5 instead of 2nd and 8 because you call the quarterback draw. And then you get down into the red zone. The execution is poor. I haven't really seen anything that sparked my the only touchdown that we really had that I was like, okay, that was was Dallas Goedert, and it was squeezed in between two people. Like, where are the wide open people? Where is the motion in the offense? It's 20-20. Anything on the other side of either 20, we look like horrible shit. It's been like that all season. I'm not asking for the man's job, but I'm asking him to do his job. Like, it's not that hard, bro. Now you bring in another weapon. I mean, you started to give me Jonathan Gannon vibes. Like, that's really how I'm feeling about BJ. And I was high on him, but it's like, you look like BJ the first year, but with weapons. It's not complicated, bro. The things you need to do to get these guys open, they get themselves open. It's not that hard. But stop calling my quarterback to throw it 45 times and he putting down 16 of them passes way down the field. Come on, man. We ain't got to do that every game, bro. We not the Dolphins. We not the Dolphins. We not Patrick Mahomes. We not none of those dudes. It's Jalen Hurts. It's Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, AJ Brown. It's DeAndre Swift and this offensive line. Like, we gotta do better, bro. You gotta instill trust in Jalen Hurts and get him to trust the offensive line, because I was looking at some numbers today, bro, and I'm really upset that y'all keep letting old Pettis sit there on the offensive line and he ain't doing his job really. He's not really doing his job. Do we not have some depth that we can put there? I'm tired of him, bro. Like Cam can't come back for like another week or two. Like, where's Tyler Steen? I want to see him play then. Because, bro, this man, we can't even run on the right side of the field. He's horrible, bro. And boy, I'm hot as hell. Mm-hmm. I'm hot. Listen, bro. Listen.
So let me bring this up real quick. Since we're talking about Brian Johnson and their offensive scheme. that is so elementary to me. Honestly, it's elementary to me. It's nothing like how Shane Steichen's scheme was last season. We were moving the ball. People feared playing us. People feared playing us last season, not this season. They know where our weakness is because we make it so noticeable. Um, but Brian Johnson today said that he was okay with the run pass ratio on the
I
Jets
seen
game.
that.
How you
I
feel about
seen that.
that?
I seen he said that, and I was just like, how? How are you okay with it? Like, how? You ran the ball 22 times and you threw it 45. Like,
Mm-hmm.
where is the I'm okay with it? Where is it? Like, I don't understand, bro.
Because Brian Johnson is somebody that don't take accountability. Brian Johnson is somebody that don't want to admit his fault. Like, hey, I called this play. It's on me. Now he did say one of the interceptions is on him, but Nick Sirianni already threw that on him anyway. What are you sitting up there going to do better this year? I mean, this game to sit up there and be like, yo, we got to correct these things. No, he didn't address that yet. And I'm mad at the reporters too that was asking him questions because they ain't asking the correct questions.
They never do.
Why did you stop running the ball? Why, when we set it up there and getting down the field on our passing game, didn't you just start running the ball because they're spread out now? Now they thinking because it's tough. They're thinking, oh, you're going to pass because your guy AJ Brown or your guy Dallas Goddard or your guy Devontae Smith is beating us. So now everything is spread out. You got a 4-man rush. Hey, I'm running it with DeAndre Swift until y'all stop it. And if y'all stop it, now I'm running the RPO, and you don't even know who's going to get the ball. And then when y'all sit up there and be like, all right, we got to come in because now we're running again, the ball. It's not hard. It's not rocket science, bro.
You're doing it the other way, bro. You want to pass to set up the run instead of run to set up the pass.
And that bull on opioids or something, man, because it's not hard.
Well, what I'm looking at, right? People are starting like even box. So if you're gonna pass to set up the run, then actually run the ball.
That they won't because what they do, and they did it the last past 3 weeks. Last past 3 weeks, we didn't even have over 100 yards rushing. Last past 3 weeks, right? What they do is if you see your running back not getting but just 2 to 3 yards, they get away from it. They want to do explosive plays, hit AJ Brown, try to hit Smitty, get Dallas Goddard involved. They try to do that. Try to get reps to Quez Watkins when he was in against the Rams. They don't want to sit up there and grind it out, grind this shit out because at the end of the day, you can't sit up there and just keep running Jalen Hurts. He's not Superman. He's a good quarterback that can be great in this league, but he's not Superman. Allow your running back to sit up there and set the tone for the time. This is what we were doing. We were sitting up there. Hey, we're controlling the clock. We control the clock. You're not beating us. There's no way you can beat us. But that 19 play drive that we did, it took bulk of that quarter. That was a fluke. I'm thinking like, all right, I see what they're doing. Hey, this is going to be an easy win. No, they got away from it.
We ain't have no more drives like that. It's crazy.
No.
But hey man, y'all give a warm welcome, man, to our special guest, man. Weapon X in the building. You know, Big Eagle, man. What's happening, Web?
What's going on, man?
We were just discussing the offense in the Jets game. We were just discussing the offense from the Jets game. So if you want to get into it, you can.
All right. Well, the offense of the Jets game, they started off for the most part. I'm looking at Jalen Hurts stiff arming a guy while throwing a dot to the sideline. So, I mean, he was looking really good to start the game off, and then you see the turnovers. Fluky, weird interceptions and tip interceptions, things like that. And I feel like that kind of, swayed the momentum. And from there, it's like Jalen Hurts started out like he was going to be. It's going to be a really great game, and then it kind of just continued to regress from like pretty much the first quarter on. It was like things was just going downhill, and in the fourth quarter, I mean, bro, it was bad, bro. It was bad. I mean, it was just AJ Brown has been spectacular. So there's some bright spots, but for the most part, I'm disappointed in the offense. 4 turnovers. I know some of them was fluky. It was unfortunate, but for the most part, yeah, it wasn't a good performance, but there are some things to where I was excited about. Jalen Hurts started out. When I seen a stiff arm with the dime, I'm like, bro, I ain't seen nothing like that before. Hold on. Sure. And he was looking really good. And then it was the turnovers, man. So I'm disappointed overall as a whole. Just the game plan, the play calling, all that, it was all bad, honestly, bro. But I mean, Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, there was some bright spots early on. AJ Brown's been lights out this entire season, especially the last 3 or 4 games. He's been spectacular. So, I mean, there's some good and some bad, but overall, it was bad. It was a terrible performance. 4 turnovers, regardless of how you want to, slice it or dissect it. It was bad. 4 turnovers. It was bad. Overall, I would probably say I'll get an offense, maybe a D plus D. So yeah, bro.
Seemed like about us, about like us.
What did I miss? What did I miss, man? How y'all feel about the offense?
Horrible. Pissed. I feel like Brian Johnson need to implement some shit. Like he's not catching the flow. You know what I'm saying? He's forcing it. He trying to pick up big yards when we don't need to. Sometimes you got to slow the offense down. It's okay to take the slants. It's okay to take the drag routes. It's okay to take the little 5-yard outs. Like simple routes sometimes make the bigger routes easier. Like when people are thinking you doing the comeback a lot, thinking you doing out routes a lot, they start biting. So when you do one of those fakes and then you go straight up the field, that's free money. I haven't seen too many wide open guys yet. I've seen my quarterback squeezing. I've seen him moving for his life and find the receivers on the move, but I haven't really seen him like in the last 2 or 3 weeks where he's not looking comfortable. It's not looking like it's just happening. I'd rather it just happen in a flow, you know what I mean? Than it looking like, all right, I got to find AJ. I got to find Dallas. Like, I got to find a guy so I can get 3rd and 8. We've been the king of 3rd and 1. Short field. We play on the other side of the sticks. We play behind the sticks. And then we get inside the 20, and I lose my mind, bro. I almost don't even want to watch the game inside the 20 because this man is doing straight bull jump. What? Like, I just watched the play when they was talking about and he threw a swing route to Boston Scott from the 15. Boston Scott get 1 yard. You throwing screen routes to Quez Watkins. What the hell?
Weapon X, man. I'm happy that you came in, but at the same time, to answer your question, man, Brian Johnson is on like a huge microscope. His scheme is not like it was last year with Shane Steichen. I thought that he would have learned a thing or two. Besides knowing Jalen Hurts, I thought he would have knew a thing or two about how the offense should run because all we did was add at the time DeAndre Swift in the mix, and it should be the same type of offense. I know you want to implement him being able to be a dual threat running back too. I get it, but at the same time, you got top guys, top playmakers in this league on the roster, and it's like you cannot implement getting them the ball at all. You know, he's nonchalant at the podium. I hate it because he don't have that. Hey, I need to get this right. You know, he's so nonchalant. Number one, number two. He was okay with the pass run ratio last game. He was okay with it. He said, I'm fine with it. And then on top of that, he did not take accountability for anything but an interception. That's ridiculous.
You
No,
muted, bro.
you muted.
You muted.
Mute it.
Hey, bro, I don't even watch any of his press conferences. I'm done. I'm so out. I don't even, I watch everybody else's. I just don't watch his, bro. But
Hey,
I agree with you.
you
He don't
even
take any
you even
accountability. It's just
you,
bad.
you even watch. Hey,
He's not
not to
doing.
cut you off. Not to cut you off. You even watch Michael Clay over him. You watch Michael Clay over him.
No, I've been stopped. Bro. I don't. Nah, I'm done. Come on. No.
I only want to see 3 people on the stand, really. Jalen Hurts, Nick Sirianni, and Sean Desai. And Sean Desai.
4. Because if Howie signs somebody, yeah, I
Okay,
need to hear
Howard.
him.
I see Howard.
I watch the side sometimes. I watch him.
I mean, Sean Desai been a bright spot in the whole team right now. Everybody else is really like, I'm aggravated, dog. I don't know what to say about, but I think it's gonna get better.
You know
I
what's
do have
crazy,
faith
bro?
in that.
You know what's crazy? Here's the crazy part about the coordinators, right? Sean Desai has the most injuries as a coordinator on our team right now, and he's doing the best.
That's usually how it works out.
The major injury that we had was Lane Johnson. Lane Johnson there was Tua Opeta. Tua Opeta would have been an afterthought because Lane Johnson and Jason Kelsey would have helped Tua Opeta out. You know, we're not worried about Cam Jurgens. But we lost Jalen Carter. We lost Sidney Brown. We lost who else?
Avonte Maddox. For a minute, N'Kobe Dean.
N'Kobe Dean.
Darius
He's losing people, and he's still making ways to scheme. So offenses like the Rams.
You would think he would be doing the absolute worst, you know, because everything that's going on with the injuries, and he's the best coordinator by far. It's crazy to me. Like, I mean, the defense. I'm loving what I'm saying for the defense. You know, with everything. If you look at the injuries and stuff like that.
I mean, but this is what we got to take into account. That Chicago team was horrible. He's used to working with nothing. So if you give him just a few bright spots, he's used to making it work. Bruh, think about this. He had Robert Quinn as his edge rusher, his main edge rusher. You can't even name the rest of the defensive line. And then you had Roquan Smith and Fuller at cornerback. You didn't have nothing.
Oh, that's bad.
And he was able to work. Come on, bro. You give him James Bradbury, you give him Hassan Reddick, you give him Sweat, Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox, and now you give him back Sidney Brown, Darius Slay. Hopefully you give him back Reed Blankenship, N'Kobe Dean. Now he got a 3 linebacker set that he's comfortable working with. He got everything he need, and he don't even need it. He don't even need it. He like, oh, you gave me it? I made this work even better. Because the other teams I done had was when he went to Seattle, they was putting it back together. It wasn't together when he got there. Now it's together, but he was the last bright spot of that.
So on the best hope game was the Rams. You know why? Because he did something that we did not had done in the last year. We didn't adjust at half. We adjusted at halftime.
That was the other one, Eddie Jackson.
And Cooper Kupp had 1 reception for 5 yards. He adjusted. You know why he adjusted? Because somebody probably told him to go man. And I was on record basically saying that Bradley Roby playing in the slot. He's better off being man, not zone. So what he did, he changed up the scheme. And when he changed up the scheme, then, they was getting stopped. The middle was shut down. And they gave the opportunity for the offense to do their job. Not so much last game, though. Last game, you know, everything that could went wrong. You know, you got Jake Elliott missing field goals. You got DeAndre Swift fumbling, getting the ball punched out. We practice ball security all the time at NovaCare. You know, that's where we practice. We see the videos. from what we can see. And you sitting up there not taking care of the ball, then Jalen Hurts uncharacteristic throws and everything like that. The Jets defender told the media, "Hey, I knew what was about to happen before it happened when Jalen Hurts threw that last interception. He told us to fake like you blitzing, play coverage, he's gonna throw the ball right to you." And damn if he didn't. He threw the ball
That's
right to
exactly
the
what
last
happened.
defender. That's what I'm saying. The offense is too predictable. Brian Johnson is on a microscope with me. I'm not saying that he's going to get fired because I know they're not going to fire him because they don't want to sit up there and hire within and say that they were wrong. Until probably the end of the season,
Something
I'll
has to
probably give him
change.
another year.
Something has to change.
Something does have to
Especially,
change.
now we got Julio. There's literally no excuses. There's no excuses. This offense should be putting up tons of points. We should be outscoring everybody. I mean, man, Brian Johnson. I mean, if you're not, I know, right? Like you said, but they're not going to fire him, right? I would like for them to fire him, get him out of here, but they're not going to do it. I understand it. It's early in the season, quote unquote, early in the season, whatever, right? So at least, I mean, you have to do something. Help them with play calling, the play design. Maybe bring in a guy who can come in and help them, or just give them some help. I mean, Vic Fangio, he was helping the defensive coordinators in. He was like helping the team out last year, and there's reports of that. So I mean, just bring somebody in to help him if you're not going to get rid of him, because I mean, he's not. I mean, he's not really. He needs some help, right? And that's just being polite, right? I think he needs some help. Everybody needs help from time to time, but. Bro, I'm done with it. I'm over it. I don't care. I know it may be early in the season, and I know they're not going to fire him. I'm done with it. Especially from Jonathan Gannon, bro. We're looking at Jonathan Gannon last year and how people wanted him gone, and then the Super Bowl is when he just I mean, bro, yeah, I'm not playing with coordinators. Because I mean, we were patient with Jonathan Gannon, and when we needed him most, he wet the bed, bro. I have really short. I mean, if you can't design plays now, or play call, you're not ever going to be able to. You don't learn how to do that. When you're already an offensive coordinator, you don't just learn how to do that, man. I mean, don't fire him. Just get him some help to help him out. Do something. Okay. All right. So you have a Julio Jones. You bring a Hall of Fame guy in, right? A Hall of Fame player. First ballot Hall of Fame, period. You bring him in. There's literally no excuses left for this guy. There's nothing. There's no excuses.
This is what I'm asking though. See what I was saying. Remember what I was just saying, DV? He coming in, he got leadership. He's the guy that can go to Brian Johnson and be like, look, hey, we ran a little concept at Atlanta, and this might help you get Smitty open. This might help you get AJ bigger plays. This might help you flow the offense. You could take bits and pieces from everybody because he's been in the league for a minute. He's seen a lot of offense. He's seen a lot of defense. He can go over there and be like, hey, they keep running this defense, Brian. We need to run this route. Because when they used to run this defense and I was playing for this team, when we ran this route, it was a big play. All right, we're going to call it. We obviously probably got the route somewhere on the route tree. You might just not be calling it. Sometimes it's hard to see the game from the sideline. It's even harder to see it on tape because you sometimes want to be your biggest critic, but also when you look at it, you're like, well, he could have been open if he'd have ran it a little bit. Like you start making excuses for yourself. You need to be held accountable. And you need to sometimes simplify it.
First of all, you don't need to be held accountable. You need to hold yourself accountable. And he hasn't done that yet.
He need to be held accountable too.
No,
somebody need to get in his ass, just like Jonathan Gannon. Jonathan Gannon did.
Bro, no. Think about it like this. And this is why Eagles fans, I'll be so frustrated with them because at the same time, yes, we gave the chance to Jonathan Gannon because why? Because we were winning. We're 5-1 right now. So this is why I was in limbo with Brian Johnson. No, I don't want the same thing that happened last year happen this year. What if we make it to the Super Bowl and then Brian Johnson become Brian Johnson in the Super Bowl and start calling basic schemes, and then all of a sudden we lose the game off of that. Then what?
All right, look, bro. Let me chime in here. There's no excuse for this guy. He has everything. You have 2 number ones. You have a top 5 tight end. You got the best offensive line in the NFL, arguably. Come on, man. You cannot be bad at your job when you have everything you need and then some to succeed. I mean, there's just no excuse. And now with Julio Jones, man, but I don't want to pile up on Brian Johnson, but yeah, I'm over it. I'm over it, bro. To be honest.
I do. I want to power up on him because at the end of the day, he's messing up our offense, and we know what we got in our offense. I want to pile up on him, Paul, because at the same time, he's messing up this offense. There's no reason why guys should be on the sideline mad because they're not getting the ball. Shouldn't be reason why Jalen Hurts is second guessing certain things because he's not even surveying the whole field, or he's going back to just staring at one receiver. There's no reason why he should be doing that. But Brian Johnson does that. And he makes it comfortable for Jalen Hurts to sit up there and be like, all right, well, I'm okay with this. No, you're not okay with it. Where's that urgency in everything that we had last season? We just lost the Super Bowl. Our goal is to get back. When is the standard going to be the standard? Because I'm tired of this, win is a win. Win is not a win, bro. Look, we got to show the standard, man. People used to be fair enough.
Yo, I know one thing, Smitty and DV. Look, if they lose to Miami with that Kelly Green on, the debut of Kelly Green at home against, you got Jalen Hurts and Tua. You know Jalen Hurts want to win. Look, if I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose it if we don't go out there and tear the Dolphins a new one. I'm gonna lose my mind.
I'm right with you, bro. Because at the same time, man,
that's what I want to get to anyway. Let's talk about the Dolphins.
I was about to segue right into it, bro, because I had a video with a content creator of the Dolphins, TD Fizz. What's up? He actually was a stand-up guy. He actually came out, EC1, shout out to EC1 for linking me up with him. But at the same time, he was basically saying that this is a big game for them because they feel like that the Dolphins haven't played anybody and they just beat up on the weak team. So they saying that this is a big, huge game for them. If they lose this game, they're just going to say, they just mediocre. They just beat up on the weak team. But I'm like, what makes you think that it's not a big game for us too? What makes you think that we're not going to have that oomph because we're wearing the Kelly Green, we're at the link, and we just came off a loss? That everybody was held accountable. I want to see it on the field, how mad you are that we lost that game. I see Lane Johnson coming back. So I want to see what people go and say. I don't care who on the field. Next man up mentality, right? So everybody has to be on the field playing at a level where as though that, hey, we just lost. We're not losing at home. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you got to, somebody got to do it like a hit on Tyreek Hill to let him know, like, yo, you at the link, bro. You at Philadelphia, bro. There's no way that you're going to sit up there and do a backflip with somebody's cell phone and at the link. There's no way. No way, bro. So I want them to come with that physicality that Sean Desai was basically talking about, to combat their speed. I want them to sit up there and get to Tua, especially Hassan Reddick. I need Hassan Reddick to be Hassan Reddick at home. I need him to be Hassan Reddick. I need Jalen Carter to play. Jalen Carter is going to interrupt the middle of the field. The middle of the line, of their offensive line. So I need them to be available for me this game. Because I'm tired of hearing this number one offense, number one in rushing and passing and things like that and all that. They're confident that they're going to win this game. But they're not confident that about the meaningfulness of this game. because if the Eagles win this game, they just looked at it as, oh, y'all just an offense happy team and all that. I don't even think Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill is the main factor on the offense. I think it's a running back. And we're in the top 3, if not the first, in rush defense. So why can't we stop
that's
him?
Raheem
Mostert.
4-3 guy, explosive
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
The other one on IR. Devin A. Chain, ain't he on IR?
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna play either.
But
No,
look,
he's
did
not
you
gonna
see
play.
that Jalen Ramsey returned to practice today?
He did, but he's not playing. He said that what's his name? McDaniel. He said Mike McDaniel said that he might play before week 10. He's giving week 10. He's not gonna play this game. He might play next game, but he's not gonna play this game.
Hey X, if you want to get in here, you can go next. I'll go after you.
I mean, they have an extremely explosive offense. They're averaging 316 yards per game. That's first in the NFL. So you look at, if you look at from a matchup perspective, nobody's stopping Tyreek Hill on our defense. If you're looking at it on paper and just look at our injuries, if we talk about Darius Slay versus Tyreek Hill, I'm picking Tyreek Hill. I just think their offense is way too explosive. I think it has to be a shootout. I think it's going to be a shootout. If you look at what's his name, the coach from the Dolphins, Mike McDaniels or something like that. Dude, he's the best play. He's the best play caller in the NFL by far. They already put up 70 points or 70 plus or however many. I mean, dude, they could have broke the record, and it was against the Broncos. But I mean, that type of performance when you're scoring 70 points, regardless of who it's against, it's in the NFL. That's extremely impressive. I'm looking at some notes here. You got Tua. He has a 20. When he's against pressure, he's not getting pressured. He hasn't been pressured at all. We have, a top 5 D line in the NFL, top 3, probably one of the best, honestly. So if we can get pressure on them, you affect the quarterback. I mean, that's always a key to victory, getting to the quarterback. Let's see. I got 4 sacks in his loss. He was sacked 4 times. So I feel like in the only loss against I forgot who they lost to, but they gave up. He was being pressured. So if you get to him, I think Tua folds. He has multiple concussions, unfortunately. So you get some shots on him. I think we should be fine. It has to be early. But if the Dolphins come out, man, they're firing, and now the crowd isn't into it, and they gain momentum early, I think we'll be in for a long game. Our pass defense is just bad, bro. Our pass defense is bad going up against the just Mike McDaniels and a Tyreek Hill. I mean, you can go on and on. You got the running back Raheem Mostert, whatever his last name is. He's dangerous. He's extremely fast, but I just don't see. I think it could go either way. Honestly, I think it could go either way. But I would give us the edge because we're at home with the Kelly Greens. Couple more notes here. We know our run defense is holding opposing running backs to 3 yards per carry, which is tied for second in the NFL. We know we have the best run defense in the NFL. But also, here's the thing. Last thing, right? The Dolphins. The Dolphins, they're number 1 in quarterback hits, so they're getting pressure. They're getting pressure on opposing quarterbacks. So I don't know. I think it's gonna be a good game. I think we have the edge. If it was in Miami, I think we take an L. But since we're at home, you got the Kelly Greens. Jalen Hurts versus Tua. Jalen Hurts want to beat Tua. I think we come on top. I think we come out on top of this game. But we know the Dolphins are no slouch. They're a really good team. You remember Darius Slay against Tyreek Hill last year in joint practices. Darius Slay, after a rep with Tyreek, he was like hobbling off. He didn't even finish the practice. So, I mean, bro, offensively,
I went to that game, bro. I went to that game. I went to that game. It's real personal for me. We got blowed out. We got blowed out, and they was in the stadium like talking trash, like, "Oh, we going to the Super Bowl. Oh yeah, when we see y'all next year, it's gonna be a blowout. It's gonna be just like this preseason game." I ain't forgot that. They was waving their flag all in our faces. Dude was drunk. He was all in our section, standing on chairs. I was like, humbly appreciated you beat us. I mean, he wasn't like in my area, but he was, right next to me. I mean, I'm watching him parade and do crazy stuff. I've seen this offense not perform 2 times this year, and I'm going to see it for the 3rd time because Sean Desai is going to go watch the tape of Bill Belichick taking Tyreek Hill out of the game. He only had 40 yards. The Buffalo Bills, they made him not score, so I want to see what they did. I ain't really watch it a whole bunch. I'm going to watch it tonight. I think we could capitalize on slowing them down because X just said it. There has been no pressure. I don't care if you got to kick, scratch, spit, elbow, head, butt. Sean Desai, whatever you got to do to slow them down, whatever you got to do to make them go another route, do it. Josh Joe was playing man when I wasn't really sure why he kept playing Garrett Wilson one-on-one, but okay, cool, whatever. If that's the solution to slowing them down, then that's what I want to see. You know what I'm saying? But Christian Gonzalez played majority of the game on Tyreek Hill, was able to take him away. So I don't know which one of our corners can do that. He just said about Darius Slay getting toasted. I do remember that from last year. So I don't know if we go. I'm almost to the point where I'm like, just put Eli Ricks over there and say, run hand for hand with him and see what you can do.
Slay did not get toasted. He got caught in his feet and he tripped and then got hurt. I ain't gonna lie, he did get toasted, bro. But I ain't gonna lie. But my whole thing is this, man. I think that, it's time for our cornerbacks to show why we paid them. Mm-hmm. Why we paid them. Because it's already shown that, they slow as hell. Because they one of the oldest duos in the league. And then, you see what happened. They was putting Bradbury when Slay wasn't in. They put Bradbury so far upset because he couldn't keep up. And he basically wanted the receiver to come to him so he could guard him. He can't guard face to face with a receiver because he's slow.
Oh yeah, we do. See, I knew it, bro. See, I knew it. See, I peeped game. I knew that person was a Dolphin fan. I knew it, bro. I'm very, very observant.
Yeah, that's it. That's your people, man.
It don't matter where they came from. Guess what? When Sunday come, when Monday come, and we on Birds of Broad Street, I hope he hit the subscribe button.
They won't. They're gonna be.
That's all I'm asking. Bro. Listen, that's my look. X. I got a simple request to all the Dolphin fans that want to troll, want to talk crazy. You take the L, just show up. Be accountable. Just like I told my offensive coordinator. I want y'all to be the same way. Be accountable.
Miss Ash better stop playing with me until we got Simmons.
Listen, bro. As soon as she said it, I went to like.
Yeah, I went to
looking through my phone. I'm like, what the? Listen,
we got Simmons because I wanted 10. I wanted 10, but 10 is out for 6 weeks, so I don't want to wait until week 12 for him. Who would you want the Eagles to get? That's the first question. The second question is, whoever you choose,
what would you give up for him?
What would you give up for him?
Well, like as far as like free agency or trade or
either way, however you want it.
By the trade deadline.
Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of like free agent acquisitions because I feel like when you bring in free agents, I feel like they've been around the league already. They understand that it's a business. So I kind of question their loyalty or how far are you willing to go for a team, or it's a lot of variables that I take into account with free agency and trades. I don't like bringing guys in. I'm not gonna lie to you because I mean I just don't. I'm not a fan of it. But if I had to realistically, um, just off the top, I would probably say we couldn't get Buda Baker. We could. I honestly, man, that's a tough one. I would like to see a Sidney Brown go in there and you throw some of these young guys in the fire, and you develop some young guys, and you kind of rally around them, create a game plan to where wherever they're having weaknesses at, you understand like, all right, they're weak at this point. Let's try to, compensate with that by helping them out however you can, right? But I mean, bro, I can't really. I've been hearing there's some popular names like with Jeremy Chan or a guy from like Carolina. We've been hearing Buda Baker, as far as like secondary help. But yeah, man, I really don't. Right now, who are you going to get to, realistically that can help this Philadelphia Eagles team? I don't see that many guys that you can. I mean, you look at veterans. You look, all right. They went and got a Julio Jones. They went and got what's the defensive back name? Roby.
Roby.
Randy Roby.
Yeah. So I mean, it's like I don't know, man. I would probably say a guy like Jeremy Chan. He's cheap. He's affordable. He's a player that's a piece that's needed for the defense. So I would say somebody in the secondary. But with that guy, he's pretty young. He's like 20. I'm not sure his age, but I know he's young. I know he's been solid in the NFL. We need a safety. I'm really high on Buda Baker and Jeremy Chan, but outside of that, if we can't get one of those guys, which is not looking likely, then that's pretty much about it.
Well, Buda Baker
Offensively, they
was
don't need
his
anybody.
Buda
Like,
Baker practice window was activated today too, just in case, just to put it out there.
yeah, but it's not. I don't think it's happening, man. I don't think it's happening. That would be amazing if somehow we can get Buda Baker, bro. Oh my god.
Because,
Yeah,
like
that'll
I
be my
said,
two
though,
guys, man. Honestly, that
but like
was a
I
tough
said,
question.
like
That's a tough.
so the two guys that you just named, one is coming off of IR and he got the 20-day window. The one that's going on IR, he's not going to play until probably week 12.
Yeah, Chan
So
out for 6 weeks.
Six weeks. So that changed the whole dynamic. That's what I'm saying. If it's Simmons, then that's cool. Now we hear rumors about PS2, Patrick 13. We're hearing rumors about that. Now,
That's not.
I'm just saying. No. It's good to talk about. I'm not saying it will. I'm not saying it will. It's good to talk about.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
if you all them guys, let's just say they weren't hurt, anything like that. The two guys you named, what will you give up for them?
They're like at no more than a fifth. I'm not high on bringing guys in. I'm not giving up anything for them if it's me. So if I mean for if PS2 Patrick Surtain was available, I would probably give up a first. For a guy like that, I'm giving up a first. If they say, "Hey, you give us," no, I'm not a first, probably a second.
Yes, I'm giving up a first.
Probably a
I'm
second.
giving up
But
a
I mean,
first,
you got
bro.
Darius. No. Okay, I'll give up a first. Here's why. You got Darius Slay. He's older. James Bradbury. I don't know what's going on with him, but he's on the tail end of his career, right? For a guy like that, an established, true lockdown number one, I would give up a first. I'll be honest. But anybody else? I mean, I'm sad as far as like free agents. I'll be honest with you. I don't really like bringing guys in. I would like for the team to draft players and have guys develop. And if they can't, if you can't do that, then there's some things needs to be changed. Some personnel needs to be moved around, or some people have to go, honestly. But they're finding pieces. I like Sidney Brown. I mean, those have Sidney Brown out there. I don't know about Calais Ringo, but if it's not in house, I'm honest to God, bro. I'm not big on free agents at all. I don't like bringing guys in. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. But I would give up a first for sure for Patrick Surtain. I'm giving up a first. It is what it is. I'm giving up a first for Patrick
I said
Surtain.
that same thing. I said first and second, because if you give up a first and second, I feel like my Philadelphia Eagles, our Philadelphia Eagles, can sit up there and make that first round pick close to a second round pick, because we're going to be in a dance. Regardless
Yeah,
if it's a championship matchup or a Super Bowl, we're going to be in a
that's
dance.
facts.
So,
That's facts.
hey, if we trade it now, then it's like, all right, cool, we got him for a pick next year. So if he's still young, yeah, I'm trading it. I'm trading it already. I am.
You can have the first, you can have Quez, and you can get Barnett. What? I'm giving you a good package. I'm almost ready to give you. Listen, I'm 50% on keeping Quez and giving you Bradbury, and let Slay play the twos.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, man. People gonna judge me for my opinion, and you know what?
Oh,
Just like
so
this
let me
song
ask
said,
y'all a
I don't
question.
care.
Let me ask y'all a question before we get back to this Dolphins.
I would too.
Before we get back to this Dolphins, I want to ask y'all a
You
question.
said you will too. You give him Bradbury?
No, got that Bradbury. No.
X,
No.
you give up
What I'm
Bradbury?
saying is, let me ask my question first.
Hold on. X, I want to see if that's what he said. Did you say you would give up Bradbury also?
I mean, that's tough, man. That's tough. A first and Bradbury, I'll probably. Nah, they tripping
Okay,
now at that
a
point.
second
But
in Bradbury.
bro,
A second
dude,
in
Patrick
Bradbury.
Surtain, bro, he's a dude. He's young, right? There's nobody better. Who's better than Patrick Surtain? He's definitely top 3. So yeah, I mean, for Bradbury in the first, if he's available, and I'm running the Philadelphia Eagles, I'm pulling that trigger. I'm pulling that. If I'm running it, I'm pulling that trigger. I'll be honest with you.
All right.
I'm pulling it.
Hey, I got a stat for y'all real quick before you ask your question, DV. The next 8 games from the Dolphins to the Seahawks, all teams are above 500. Well, 500 or above. The only team that's 500 though is the Commanders.
Cool. Think that we can stand with them. It's all up to coaching at this point.
I'm just telling you. So the reason I said that is so they can't come back and be like, y'all didn't play nobody.
I hate that argument, bro. I hate when they say that.
Yeah, it basically doesn't matter at this point, because we already know that part of the schedule is coming up, and like I said, we're gonna see who we truly are in those games. We played the Cowboys twice, I think, in those games. Play Miami. We play
Commanders again.
no, I don't care about them. The Bills.
The Commodores.
No, the toy soldiers. That's what I call them.
They're the surrenders, man. Get it right.
The toy soldiers, man. Andy's coming.
No, you gotta call them the surrenders. They don't command nothing. They surrender.
Bro, get out of here, bro.
They do the Barnett when you come running.
Bro. Like I said, I want to go to Washington and sweep them. I just want to sweep them and get it over with. I don't want it to be a close game either, like it was last game. That was ridiculous. That was ridiculous. But that was, Shona Sargent and his foot in, allowing Sam Howell to play well in the 20s, just like he allowed to play what's his name, Zach Wilson, to play well in the 20s. But he shut down the red zone offense. So gift of the curse. It's a gift of the curse. But at the same time, I think that Sean Desai is coming along well.
I can agree.
But I think also that I take this team still, regardless of the coaching and everything. I take this team over anybody right now. I think that we can win. Now, will we win flat out? Realistically, no, we won't. But I think that we can play our best football and be in games. We can. We are set up, how we set us up to, ball out. Now, whatever move he makes before trade deadline, look, we ain't got no choice but to respect it. But it's all about what he's willing to give up, because the Eagles do not really give up high picks like that. If it's a fourth, fifth, they really don't.
That's why it shocked me when we traded for AJ.
I'm not.
No, I'm saying, like, the fact that we gave up a first when trading for him and it wasn't like a second and a fourth or something like that. I was just shocked, because how we usually
when it's a guy, when it's a legit game changer, you're going to give up that first, So
no. I'm not saying I wouldn't have gave up the first, but for Howie though, just to give up a first, I was like, dang, Howie gave up a first? Like, because how Howie is with the first. He hate to trade with a first.
Yeah.
He gonna try to get you that second every time. And if he can't, then all right, I'll give you the first. But
gotcha.
It was just the fact that Howie gave up a first. I was just like, Howie really made a power move?
Why? And I think that it's the reason, and where though Jalen Hurts was in the contract year. He was coming up on his contract year. He put that bug in his ear. He put that bug in his ear, like, this is my guy, that's there, break him on, whatever, like that. Jalen Hurts brought AJ Brown here, and he was like, yo, bet on me. Bet on me that if you bring this guy here, we're going to do good things. And Howie bit the bullet, and look where it got us. So now I think that's where they kind of are right now, whereas though that if you bring this type of guy here, if you bring this type of guy here, then, hey, this could be a game changer for the Philadelphia Eagles on offense or defense. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. We set up there, Jalen Carter dropped the 9. We drafted him. When the last time you heard any Eagles fan say, oh, we miss Hargreaves?
Not at all.
My point exactly.
Not at all.
My point exactly.
All I hear is Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter. I don't hear nothing about Hargrave.
Exactly.
How y'all feel it? Listen, huh?
Who?
Huh?
Hargrave?
I don't know.
I never heard of him. Never heard of him.
He played for us? He was here?
When? I ain't even gonna do that to him. Can't do that to him, y'all. He was bro, man.
Look, he was
a beast there, man.
He was on the Super Bowl run team.
Come on, man.
Hey, DV, he was on the Super Bowl run team.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, he was the dude that do the. Oh, I remember seeing him 1 or 2 times, man. I remember seeing him 1 or 2 times, man. I remember, man.
But no, I think that Howie Roseman is touch with this team. He's in touch with this team to the point where, yo, he knows where our weaknesses are. He knows where our weaknesses are.
Yeah.
I want to get back to this Dolphins talk, though.
Yeah.
Because the same guy that I talked to basically was saying they got the same issues that we had. The middle of the field, basically the team. Middle of the field, and he said that not only that we can run on them, like Herbert from the who was it, the Colts? No, that was the
Chargers.
That was the Panthers last week. Yeah. He was running on them. And he had some good carries. And then also he said that we could pass on them too. In the middle of the field is suspect.
Man, listen, Stephon Diggs went crazy on them boys, man. All across the middle, man. Hey, listen, we We trying to get
They're
a half a
27th
bag of
in
Skittles, man.
yards allowed to receivers.
We
They're
trying to.
25th yards allowed to receivers.
Yeah.
Well, I ain't gonna speak too highly because last week we played the 29th ranked run defense, and you see what Brian Johnson did. So
Because, like I said, they set up there and it went for the fake. I knew that pass rush of the Jets was real. And I knew that. And then when Lane went out, it made it even worse. Number one. Number two, he seen DJ Reed concussion protocol, and then he seen that Sauce Gardner was out. So now it's like, oh, let's pass on them. No, don't pass the ball 45 times with a Jalen Hurts, who's a dual threat quarterback. Don't do that. Don't pass 45 times if you're not establishing a run and you're not at least running 30 times, period. And then when you do run the ball, you be having the wrong guy in at times. Because you sit up there, if it's goal line, then you put in Kenneth Gainwell when I'm like, yo, put in DeAndre Swift. Why not finish it off with him?
Bro, so how should they attack the Dolphins? How you feel like they should attack them?
even kill. You got to run them to death. And when they think, all right, we finna do everything we can to stop the run. We finna commit to the run. You hit them with a little pass. Don't see. The problem is, don't go for the big play soon as they bite. No. You still gotta feed them a little bit. You gotta throw them a few more crumbs. So you start the underneath routes. Now they bring the safeties up. Now you got 3 receivers, and Dallas Goedert and Swift who can take the top off. You gotta play methodical football with a guy that was here, so he know a little bit about what we're gonna do. It's his defensive scheme, so he know a little bit about our offense. So we got to throw him off.
And bro, they do have a weakness, in a pass defense. They're horrible, stopping a pass. But if you don't mix it in, like you're saying, bro, if you don't mix it in, you become one-dimensional. So they know what you're going to do. And they're first in quarterback hits. So you got to take that into account. If they know that you're going to throw the ball, they're going to pin their ears back and they're going to bring guys. You got to mix it in. So the defense, they don't know how you're going to attack, right? So you keep them on their heels. So that's a great point. That's a great point, Smitty. Yeah, for sure. I agree.
Well, their defense is just like ours. In between the 20s, they suck, and they try to make you settle for field goals. But the only thing is, they don't get as much pressure as we do, I don't think. I think we're a little bit ahead of them in pressures, if I'm not mistaken.
For us, it's going to come down to 3 things. Brian Johnson play calling, their right side is Opeta and Driscoll.
No, Lane Johnson playing.
No, Lane Johnson played. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
that right
Driscoll?
No, my fault.
I almost died. I'm gonna say, what you see, nice?
So Opeta being in.
Yes.
Basically, because they go after him.
I like Driscoll better. At guard.
That's not a bad idea. But no, Sue Opeta. No, I'd rather Sue Opeta because he's been playing it consistently for games now.
He ain't getting no better.
Driscoll was dead last on the line.
But he's not. Everybody knows Driscoll suck at tackle.
Play guard? Driscoll play guard?
He's better at guard than tackle. He sucks at tackle. He sucks at tackle. He's really He's a left guard though. He's not a right guard.
Hey, EC1. Kenny G do not suck. Kenny G does not suck. No, he should not be. I don't believe that he should be the RB2, bro. But I don't think he sucks. I think he's more like the third running back that we can actually feed off of. That can be a dual threat. He doesn't suck. Don't try to throw him in no trades, bro. Like EC1, man. I think you be like, yo, you need
he a troll, bro. He a troll.
So Bro, he need rippling, man. Like, that's my guy. Don't get me wrong. Like, DC1 my guy, bro. But at the same time, bro, you just be throwing stuff out there, bro. What does he do? He's our best running back that blocks, number one. Last game, he had the best run of the game, period. When they was pulling on his undershirt. He had the best run.
Outside of Jalen, I think he had the longest run. What you think? What you think about him? What you think about Kenny G, X?
Kenny G. I mean, I was Kenny G in the playoffs. You know, I call him Kenny P. So I mean, I feel like in the playoffs he's dangerous. He's dynamic. And we were all in on, for the most part. The fan base was in on Kenny G after the Miles Sanders departure. And if you look at like just his season as of right now, it's been really questionable. And a lot of that I feel like is play calling. But I mean, I was all in on Kenny G. I feel like his value has decreased slightly just from some of I'm gonna blame play calling. Right, you put him in certain positions, 3rd, 11, and a goal, and red zone, or inside the 20. And I just feel like it. I don't know how to really. I still like Kenny. Okay, I still like Kenny. Can you look at DeAndre Swift is just looking absolutely ridiculous behind the offensive line? So that kind of diminishes his value as well, and it brings a bigger spotlight on some of Kenny G's, lack of production or just some of the positions he's been in. But overall, I like him, man. It's been kind of underwhelming. It's been kind of underwhelming to start the season, but I'm blaming that on play calling, right? Play design. But I still like Kenny, man. We all love Kenny G. We all like him. I'm not gonna lie. You guys were big on Kenny, right? But before this season, at the start of the season, kind of
50-50. I thought he needed help. I thought he needed help. I was 50. I wasn't.
I wasn't.
I was 50-50. I thought he could be like a piece of the offense, but I didn't think he was going to. I didn't want to be running back one.
Nothing. Listen, here's why. Because I'm sitting here thinking like this, right? Kenny G is not an RB1. Kenny G is that spark plug. He's that spark plug, regardless if he's the 2 or the 3. He's a spark plug. He cannot be number 1. You know why he couldn't be number 1? Because the Philadelphia Eagles didn't even believe that he was the number 1. That's why they brought in 2 running backs, regardless if that second running back that they brought in is not playing, but just 3 snaps or 3 carries. He had 3 carries in one game. Rashad Penny. But they brought in 2 guys because they weren't sure about Kenny G. They was trying to do that that running back by committee. And then also they sitting up there thinking like, okay, well, we gotta get Kenny G involved because he knows the game plan. He's a Philadelphia Eagle, whatever like that. So he has to get some carries as well. They're trying to fit him into the scheme. He don't fit into the scheme, bro. Like, we went to the Super Bowl because we had 2 running backs that can ball. They had Kenny G last year as a north to south guy. Now you're trying to see where Kenny G is at, period. Miles Sanders was that, Swifty outside, trying to avoid tackles and all that, trying to get hurt, things like that. That's what's going on. This year we got Devontae Swift, and it was supposed to be Rashad Penny. It was supposed to be that bruiser back, just like we had with Jay Ajayi and LeGarrette Blount. But it's not like that. I thought it was going to be like that, but they don't see that in Rashad Penny.
I thought Kenny was 3, my question, to be honest, coming into the season.
He's supposed to be. Who was number 3 in that Super Bowl run? Now I'm talking about when we won.
Clement.
Yeah, he's supposed to be that. He's supposed to be that. They all 3 of them in that Super Bowl had an impact. That's what was supposed to happen. And it didn't happen. Because Rashad Penny, I don't know, half the scratch, he called out.
I really want to know what's going on with that. Like, this man.
I don't know what's going on with it. But I know behind this line that this guy could do damage. No, he's not the best pass rusher, But I think that north to south with this line following Kelsey's lead, he would have been doing damage. And he would have been able to last the whole season because we wasn't going to put him in a situation where he get himself hurt.
I don't know.
I don't know what's
It's
going on
odd.
with that.
It's odd to see him be a
Hey,
healthy
yo,
All
scratch.
Josh's fault.
let me speak on Kenneth Gainwell real quick. In the playoffs, Kenneth Gainwell has 104 receiving yards and like 4 games played, 104 receiving yards. You tack on 34 carries, 187 yards, and 2 touchdowns to go along with the receiving yards. I mean, in the playoffs, dude was really, I don't know, it's like in the playoffs, he just comes alive. So I feel like a lot of them, why I felt so confident in Kenneth Gainwell was because of his performance in the playoffs. And I feel like other fans felt the same way. Now, as far as Penny, I don't know, man. Did you in the preseason? He didn't look like he was above average, and in preseason, guys that stick out are usually the guys that are going to contribute and make the team because you're playing against third or fourth stringers. So he didn't really stick out to me. It's weird with Kenneth Gainwell. Not Kenneth Gainwell. With Penny. I don't know. I just feel like the fan base when you get to these the depth chart as far as the running backs, it's like we have like some kind of infatuation with these guys. You look at what's the guy last year, Trey Sermon.
I'll tell
We
you.
were
I just
huge
thought
on
about
him.
it. I can tell
Trey
you
Sermon.
why. I can tell you why
Why is
Kenny not
that, bro?
working.
Why do
I
we
can tell
get
you,
fall in love with the guys that's deep on the roster is for running backs on our team?
I think the problem with it is they always find a bright spot in the Rocky type guy, the Rudy, the Rocky, the fighter, the hard worker, the guy at the bottom of the scrap that fought his way to the top. That's just Philadelphia in general. The blue collar guy who's going to the steel mill. He putting in 70 hours a week. He bringing home paper change, and he living off of ramen noodles and bread. Like that's the type of guy they like in Philly, bro. Like when he come out the mud, they like, ooh, I love him. But I found out what the Rashad Penny is, man. It's the what's the guy we had that came from that? It's the DeMarco Murray effect.
I don't want it to be that, bro.
Bro,
I
we
really
not,
don't.
listen.
I don't want it. I don't.
He don't run. See, we run a lot of that RPO type running style, zone running. He's a power running back.
Bro, we did that. He did that in Seattle too.
No, they power ran him.
No, they was doing the RPO when Russell Wilson was
But his
young.
best runs come out of power. They run power over there too, though.
That's facts. That's facts. So I'm just saying he knows how to do it. It's just a simple fact that
the Falcons just cut a corner. Jalen Hawkins, corner.
Yeah, I'm good.
Safety.
I'm good on that.
Young guy
we need
too.
somebody that's gonna be impactful. Yeah, that's cool. We need somebody impactful, bro. That we know that did damage in the league already, bro.
He only lost his spot because Jesse Bates.
Yeah, like I said, I'm cool on it.
Bruh, how many people in this league beating Jesse Bates off for a spot? I can name two.
Beating him out.
Huh? As you said,
Jesse Bates the dog.
It's hard to keep your spot when Jesse Bates coming in the door. I'm gonna look at his stats. I want to see what he did. I want to see what he did for.
Howie should have pulled the trigger on Bates.
I gotta see his stats. Let me see what he talking about.
No, he is solid. Don't get me wrong, but I need somebody that's going to be like, yo, the secondary, you
got to think about Howie too, bro. Howie not just gonna go get the splash player because he got a name. Howie might think he just needs somebody to help, to be an extra crutch. He might have the faith that everybody else has in Sidney Brown. Oh man, he got claimed.
Julio Jones was a splash. That was a splash right there. I mean, I don't know what Howie was even like. Do you want like spotlight, the publicity. You get a big name like that, you know what comes with that. So I don't know, man. I think how we be feeling itself a lot of times, and you know, sometimes it can come back to bite them in the butt. You know.
Wait. So you think that Howie Roseman said,
No,
"Hey,
you
here
didn't
you
read
go,
that comment.
Combs."
You didn't read that comment. You couldn't have.
What comment?
You couldn't have
What
read
comment?
that comment.
What comment?
I'm waiting for you to see it. It's there. You'll see it.
You gotta tell me, bro. Like,
It's the third comment up, bro. Third comment up. Third comment.
EC1, exit my chat. Exit my chat, bro.
You trolling, bro.
EC1, exit my chat, bro.
All right,
EC1,
so
you my guy, but you got dick,
Trade
bro.
Slay for Surtain, that one.
yeah,
Yeah.
I can't do it. James Bradbury been very suspect. I would rather have Slay playing twos than Bradbury still playing twos because he been getting cooked.
It's simple. Who's better, Darius Slay or Patrick Surtain?
It's
Who's going to
obviously
be better
right
for the
now.
next 5 years? Who's going to be better for the next 5 years?
Surtain. That would make sense. But I'm not trading Slay because I already invested in Slay for at least 2 years out of that contract. I'm not trading him.
It had to be
That's
Bradbury for me. It had to be Bradbury for me.
Hey,
so you said Jalen Hawkins. You said you wanted somebody that has some impact. On his career right now, 124 tackles, 68 solos, 4 interceptions. And that's an accumulated in 2 years because he really didn't play this year. If you're looking for depth. Yeah. I don't know if how see me as a fan and us as fans, I'm looking at it like, okay, yeah, we want the splash guy. But that's how we really want to go out there and spend the type of capital for a splash guy. If you really look at it, CJ GJ was a great player for us, but he wasn't expensive.
Look, check this out. It depends because it's all about mentality at this point, right? And in the beginning of the season, before the offseason really started, and when he was trying to sign guys back, like a Kelsey and everything like that, was the first thing he said to Kelsey when he signed. He said, "Hey, we're going to go to Vegas. That's the Super Bowl. That's where the Super Bowl is being played at, right?" So now you got to think, okay, am I still trying to get to the Super Bowl, or am I just trying to put us in position to win games?
Yeah, but if he think he has a Super Bowl roster, he needs help. He might not go get the big name. That's what I'm saying. Like, if he say right now, how we sit in the room, he talking to the coaches. Look, I feel like we have a Super Bowl roster with what we have, but I think we have a depth issue. Let me go get a few younger guys with some upside that are cheap that I can maybe even get for a 6th or a 7th round pick and bring them in. He might not be looking for the 3rd, 4th round pick type of guy. Like, we know Howie is going for a steal. It might be a guy, but nobody knew CJ. We thought he was a hothead corner, played for the Saints, that really wasn't all that good. He came over here, and now everybody killing us because he went to Detroit. Like, that's the type of move Howie made.
Not a big name. Is he not a big name? What you mean by big name?
But
because Julio's a big name, and he just
34 though. His name ain't as big as it was at 29.
He's a Hall of Famer.
He's going to Hall of Fame. But he hasn't played a complete season in the last 3 years.
That's facts.
He played, I think, 10 games, 8 games, 10 games, if I'm not mistaken. But I think Tennessee just sat him because they wasn't using him no more, to be honest. And Tennessee, that's a bum organization. They're gonna listen. The Tennessee Titans are gonna hate us forever because AJ Brown is gonna set some records here, and they're gonna be like, "We fucked up."
Already did, bro. He already said.
Nah, I'm talking about the longevity records, like where he putting up.
Number one, number two, where they went wrong. I don't know what's going on, but
So I guess Dan Sileo and Tone said they would trade AJ Brown for a first next year and first and Certain, right? Or Slay. They would trade Slay for a first next year and Certain. Or the picks to Dean for PS2.
I don't listen to Cilio, man. Like he's anti Jalen Hurts, regardless of how I feel about him from last game and all that tough stuff. Things that he does now that I felt like that he's going backwards this season because of the comfortability with him with Brian Johnson. I'll get into that a little later. But at the same time, I think that Dan Cilio is one of those guys that spark up controversy a lot and not just speak from how he actually feel. He's more so that, hey, I'm gonna go against the hot guy because that's what y'all want. Y'all want me to do that. Anyway.
What's up, Joseph? Hey, pause real quick. EC1. Listen, bro. I am tired of reading about you bringing up this man wanting AJ gone, bro. Your agenda is done, bro. That man already came on here and gave AJ flowers. If you weren't here for that, you missed out on it. You missed out on it.
People did like a 5-hour stream about like my comments about AJ. That's him?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, maybe I should apologize to AJ Brown, right? Because again, it was all under the you got to put it in its proper context. I didn't know what was going on with AJ Brown when he was having this back and forth. If he was complaining because he wanted the football while we were winning, I don't want that type of player on the team. I don't care who he is, period. Football is a team sport. But that's not what happened. AJ Brown, to me, looking back at it now from more information that I've gathered, it's the offense as a whole, the play call, and really Brian Johnson seems like it's a problem with Brian Johnson with the red zone efficiency, and AJ Brown like, here, man, give me the ball, then I can make a play, I can make things happen. And in that kind of, if that's what it was about, then I mean, I'm perfectly fine with that. Do I want AJ Brown traded as of now? No, of course not. Have you seen what he's been doing? And I kind of understand why he was upset, but at the time, it was just one of those things to where the optics look bad, right?
Bro, listen, we understand. Me and DV.
If you just being a diva, bro, you gotta chill if we win it. Period. I don't care who you are.
Me and DV get on here every game, right? Aftermath, we get on here. It's always an overreaction when you don't understand the whole context of what just happened. Because you're in a moment. Like, even me, I was upset at seeing him argue on the sideline while we were winning. But then when I heard it was more of him arguing with Brian Johnson about other things, he said he has tripled down. He was not asking for targets. So him being my wide receiver, I am not going to keep bringing it up. Okay, you didn't ask for that. So what was it? So I'm in retrospect, it has to be play design. It has to be something that we were doing that he wasn't happy with Brian Johnson. And he stepped to him and was like, hey, look, tighten it up. You calling, he might even told him you're calling dumb plays and we look like shit.
Me and Smitty talked off air and everything like that about it. So Donovan McNabb did say some things about this, just to segue to that. He said some things about it, saying that, I dealt with this with you. We all know who he was talking about. Basically wanting the ball and everything like that. And that's when AJ Brown actually responded to him and basically said, no, it wasn't like that. It was two friends basically talking heavy. It was nothing more, nothing less than that. They moved on past it and all that. We already know. So I am on record saying that I felt like that Jalen Hurts is in a situation where as though that a guy in Brian Johnson knew him since he was little. And AJ Brown, who's his best friend, he's the godfather of his child, things like that. So now, if AJ Brown and Brian Johnson is clashing, it leaves Jalen Hurts in an awkward position, whereas though that, hey, I gotta get him involved, or hey, Brian Johnson, I gotta do some play calling, whereas though that I'm scheming for my guys. period. Because you see it one time with A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown started going off because he had mismatches. I felt like that he had mismatches. So they went that route because it was easy. Devontae Smith, not so much of a mismatch, but at the same time, when he didn't get the ball, they tried to get him involved. Yes, he did have 2 drops against the Jets, but I think that Brian Johnson is messing up the scheme of 1A and 1B. I think that it's more so he needs to scheme them open, have them run certain routes. Hey, take advantage of your mismatches. And have Jalen Hurts go through his whole scheme. Make sure your offensive line is intact, so Jalen Hurts has enough time to go through his reads. If not, then it's going to be so much like a one-read offense, whereas though that, yes, he's going to be from MVP candidate of last year down to the Kirk Cousins one-read type of quarterback. And I don't want that for my quarterback. I want him to be great. You got to make sure that he's going to be great. We came into the offseason thinking that Brian Johnson being hired was going to be a good thing. And it hasn't been good because of the comfortability there. And then also to the point where, like I said, he's in the middle of 2 type of relationships with 2 different type of guys. And now we're looking at it as he's messing up the flow because Shane Steichen had this all together. It was times last season, yes, we were great last season, but it was times last season when the offense wasn't as great, and we rolled right back into what we needed to do to win the ball game. Brian Johnson is not doing that. I don't care if we got to give him time and this, that, and the third. No, we saying that we got to give him time because we 5-1. Let's be realistic. It was games that we could have lost. If we were 2-4 right now, we would say Brian Johnson need to go. If we were
I
two
wouldn't
and
say
four right
go,
now,
but I'd be saying more of what X said. You need to bring in some type of assistant that can get him a better game plan because he's not calling it right.
who you
Help
gonna
the guy
bring?
out a little bit, man.
Who you gonna bring, bro?
Huh?
Who you gonna bring?
But they got plenty of offensive coordinators that ain't got a job out there that can orchestrate the offense. They just probably not good at being the guy. I have to look into it. I haven't looked into it because that hasn't been one of my worries. But if I wanted to look, I would probably go get let me go look. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, because first of all, whoever you say, right? I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying X wrong. But whoever you say, Brian Johnson's going to have to try to take the corrective criticism and everything like that. That's the issue, because he don't take accountability. Which makes you think that he's going to take corrective criticism and implement it into his play calling. He said all the right things when he talking about, hey, Vic Fangio, I'm a fan of his. I pick his brain for 5 to 10 minutes and I learned something from it, whatever like that. He says all the right things, but he didn't change this whole offense. Whereas though that, Shane Steichen had the offense flowing, I would have thought that if you thought that you were the next man up, that you would have learned something from Shane Steichen. And you didn't.
Even if you don't bring anybody in, I feel like make it a collective effort to where you pick everybody's brain and everybody has a say and you all get together and you figure it out together. I don't like dude play calling, man. I want him gone. I know that's a hot take. I want him gone. I'm sorry, bro.
A hot take. It's not a hot take. It's not a hot take, bro. It's not. I want that soft dude going, and I'm trying to keep it PG-13. I need him going. like it's a microscope. Like I said, I know they won't fire him, but I'm anti Brian Johnson right now until he showed me otherwise. He got to earn that trust back with me. But as of right now, hell no, I don't want him.
I think Smitty want him gone too. He don't want to say it.
No, he
Me?
don't.
Me?
No, he don't. No, you don't.
I'm a coach, bro.
You don't want to go? You don't want to go?
Look. My first season coaching, right? You want to know what my record was?
What?
We went 1-8. I wasn't the offensive or defensive coordinator. I was the coach. You know what I told my
going too. You should have been going.
Hold on, wait. You want to know my you want to know how my second season?
Undefeated.
Nah, we lost one.
Okay.
Like it happens, dog.
Oh, wait. The first season when you went, what'd you say, 1-8? Okay, so the first season you went 1-8 to the time that you lost just one game. Did you have better personnel?
Nah, our team didn't even change. Not one player.
Team never changed.
I mean, we brought in some dudes, but they didn't play. It was like, the little young dudes, first time playing, getting on the team.
I'm about to get you, bro.
They didn't play. But you know what did happen though? It's the same thing from last year though. They progressed into the offense I had. Do I have 2 years for Brian Johnson to progress? No. But I can't give you 8 games, and then I need you to be on the ball after the 8th game. So I'm holding my judgment to game 8.
Here's what's different. Here's what's different from Brian Johnson's offensive scheme and offensive coaching and Jonathan Gannon's coaching, right?
There you go, Twin. That's what I was looking for. Greg Roman.
Listen. Jonathan Gannon, his first year coaching for the Eagles, defensive coach.
Mm-hmm.
Alex Singleton was our leading tackle.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have the personnel. And he said that. What did Howie Roseman go do? Get on the personnel. Yes, we went to the Super Bowl off of that talent. Brian Johnson has that talent already. I'm not giving him no excuses on basically, I'm not giving him no excuses on, hey, he got to get it together year 2. I don't give a damn about year 2. These guys was already in the Super Bowl, bro.
Understandable, but you got to give him time. Y'all giving him 6 games and said, give me his head.
Is it because we 5-1, bro, or are we not 2-4?
I told you I told you if it was 2-4, I would just be asking for help. But somebody just said the help that I would bring. Greg Roman is the perfect help.
No. Will he accept it though?
It ain't about it. You can't. What do you do when your boss bring in an assistant and he say this guy here is gonna assist you? You say yes, sir, and we're gonna do what we do.
Boss, you got people at the job that said, "Look, who is this dude?" Honestly, and they think like, "Hey, I've been in this."
Thank you, Randy. Just if you need help, sometimes you need help, dog. Everything. Hey, look.
I'm not saying.
Hey, look. Hold on, wait. The dude that sat down to the table and was drawing Rome, right? You think he drawed it all by himself? No, he called some people over and was like, "Hey, look, I need to construct something that's impenetrable, and I need it to be the way I need it, right?" And he had a bunch of minds in the room making it happen. We already know Nick Sirianni is not an offensive play caller. We know that. We watched him go 2-5. I don't need you to assist with nothing but being a head coach, keeping the morale up and keeping everybody focused and keeping the main thing. I need somebody to come in and do what they did for Jonathan Gannon. But don't do it in year 2. Do it in year 1. Let somebody come in and maybe just give him a better scheme.
Perfect example. Perfect example. X said it earlier. Vic Fangio was helping Jonathan Gannon. In the Super Bowl, Jonathan Gannon said, F that scheme. I'm going back to being Jonathan
Fangio
Gannon.
Fangio left. He didn't coach us for the Super Bowl. No.
Bro, if somebody's teaching you something, bro, and you don't implement that into your coaching and you go right back to what you were doing.
But there's a difference. Does that mean? You're talking about 2 different type of men, though, bro. You're talking about an arrogant, smug piece of crap. And Jonathan Gannon, bro, he over there doing what he's doing right now. The same shit. Brian Johnson, to me, seems coachable. He seems like he can listen. He seems like he can be helped. He don't seem like Jonathan Gannon did not want to listen, bro.
I'll be right back.
Listen, Jonathan Gannon is doing exactly what we didn't want him to do right out there in Arizona. He ain't listening. Some people just don't listen, bro. Some people don't have the mental capability to be like, hey, I learned that. Maybe I should use it.
Bro.
What's funny, bro?
Hey man, you extremely level headed, and you giving the guy the benefit of the doubt. You say he needs time, bro. I wish I could be more like you, man. I'm done, bro. I'm done with him, man. I swear.
I ain't never get. I ain't gonna lie. Listen, hold on. My college football team. If anything, being patient. I mean, Mike Norvell was horrible the first 2 years. We rank 4 now. But the first 2 years, I was like this. I'm like, man, I think we need to fire Buddy, move on. We need to bring somebody else in. Like, I understand. Once you pass a certain point, though, I got to give you some type of level of learning. He's never called any plays in the NFL, ever. I don't care if you was, like I told DV, a quarterback coach, yes, he is in the game plan room. Yes, he is listening to it. But how much input did he have? How much did he really get to sit down and really put a game plan together? Like, when you're a quarterback coach, how much did he go, as a quarterback coach, go gel with the receivers, gel with the running backs, inside the locker room with the, with the linemen? How much did he really get to do? How much did the Eagles give him? All that is why I have to give him some small bit of benefit of the doubt, because I don't know what you were exposed to as a quarterback coach. Because I know when I see most quarterback coaches, they are dependent on these 3 guys that's in this room is who I work with. And when you need to ask me something, I can tell you about the quarterback. I can't tell you that Miles Sanders runs good between the tackles, or he run good when he outside the tackles. That's not my job.
One thing, bro, about what you're saying, and this is just like a friendly debate. I'm just debating what you're saying, right? We all work jobs, and if you're not aiming to be something else and starting to coach yourself, like, hey, what do I got to do to get to that next level? If you're a quarterback coach, you're seeing the field. Quarterbacks see the field, which means that you got to know what's going on with the running back, with the receivers, the routes, everything like that. If you're not tapping in with a Shane Steichen the year prior to this year, knowing that, hey, it's possible that I could either get a job here or I could get a job elsewhere. I don't know why my team. No, listen, I don't know why my team hired him.
Yeah, you might have tapped in with him, but how much?
If you're stuck in tunnel vision, because it's like, oh, I'm just a quarterback coach, so I don't care about what's going on with the running back. You got to know what's going on. You have to.
Brian Johnson had a significant role in helping with the game plan. Nick Sirianni came out and said, he spoke on.
He said he was a part of game planning.
Say it again?
How much? He said he was. I remember the speech you talk about. He said he was a part of game planning, but how much?
Yeah. Enough for them to be confident in hiring him as the play caller, right?
No, they hired him because he fit with Jalen Hurts. That's how I'm feeling, because everybody done gave up on him. So, I mean, at this point, I might as well feel like y'all feel, because it don't seem like nobody else want to give the man a shot. Like, bro, if you had a job, you said a job, right? So if I was a job and I'm the guy that take out the trash, right? I'm the guy that take out the trash, but you keep catching me in the IT room trying to figure out how to work the computer, you're gonna have a problem with that. This is not your job. Go do your job. Why don't you know why Jalen Hurts was affected in this game? Because you were watching the running backs and the receivers trying to figure out how the offense is running? Come on, bro. You have a job and you have to do your job. And I need you to do it as a quarterback coach to the highest of your ability. I don't need like our offensive line coach. I don't need you telling me that AJ Brown run good 7 routes? I need you to tell me why Driscoll keeps turning into a turnstile. You have a job and you have to execute that job. If that job doesn't allow you to be able to expand your horizons inside of the job, then I expect you to learn on the fly, but I don't expect you to learn in 6 weeks. If they promote you to a job, nobody's saying, hey, look, hey man, we was top with sales last year and you messing up right now halfway through the quarter. Like, they're gonna be like, hey, look, you need to tighten it up, man. Let's see if you need some help. Let's see how we can figure this out. They're not gonna be like, hey, look, if you don't get it right next week, you're fired. Because come on, bro. Howie Roseman and Jeff Lurie not firing him at 6 weeks.
He has everything he needs to succeed,
except for experience.
I mean, he's called plays in college.
That dude,
exact offense.
Nick Saban called plays in college, and he came to the NFL and got blown out and sent back.
This is the same exact offense he was in last year as a quarterback coach. He's been knowing Jalen Hurts his whole life,
but he had to implement his own game plan too.
There's no excuses for him.
Y'all killing the wrong, bro. Y'all killing the wrong man.
There's no excuses for him, man. There's no excuses for him.
There is. It's called inexperience, bro.
Smitty, bro, you can be the offensive coordinator of the Philadelphia Eagles and do a better job than him right now. I believe you can.
No, I couldn't.
I believe you can, bro.
Look, I can name 1,000 coaches that had good college careers that came to the NFL, national champions, came to the NFL and got blowed out.
Hey, Pete Carroll.
Huh?
Pete Carroll had a good.
That was his second stint. Go look at the first one. He got blown out.
Call plays for the Philadelphia Eagles with everything that they have on offense. You do not deserve that job.
Hey,
You're not.
Look at it, bro. Pete Carroll came to the NFL. He got blowed out. Went back to USC. Got himself together. Came back, and then he got the Seattle Seahawks.
Did Pete Carroll have a number 1 offensive line? Did Pete Carroll have 2 number 1 receivers? Did Pete Carroll have a top 5 tight end? Did Pete Carroll have arguably a top 5 quarterback in the NFL? No.
It's more. We can go down the line though. It's people that have had that and can't succeed, but it just don't happen all the time. It don't happen overnight. Hold on, I can tell you a coach that was in the NFL that should have had a championship that got fired from his job, and another guy came in and succeeded, and he had all the things you talk about.
You have the unstoppable brotherly shove. That's a 90 point whatever.
How many times we ran it last week, X?
Conversion percentage.
How many times we was able to run it last week? How many times we ran it last week?
Huh? Why not?
But why
not?
Why though?
Oh, y'all want to blame it all on Brian Johnson? Last time I checked, it was 3 interceptions. It was 4 turnovers.
He don't
get on the field and turn the ball over. Come on now, y'all can't blame all the woes.
Are we talking about one game, or are we talking about just the Rams game, or the entire season leading up to now? If we're talking about just the Rams game, okay, I can give them some leeway. All right, but if we're talking about the entire season, yes.
What about the Tampa Bay game? He didn't execute his job in the Tampa Bay game.
That was more showing the side. He
didn't execute a game plan. So we didn't.
They didn't score as much as we needed them to. Basically we outscored them, and that was easy because we got the talent to do it. We got the personnel to do it.
Them out, man. The
That's
players
what I'm
saying.
This seems like it's on repeat, man. Y'all, I hear everybody say the same thing about every coach that come in here every year. Y'all said it about Jonathan Gannon. The players saved him. Y'all said it about Shane Steichen down the stretch last year. Oh, Jalen Hurts keeps saving Shane Steichen. I can go find clips of people saying all these things. It's on repeat.
Shane Steichen was a better offensive coordinator than this guy right here.
How much experience does Shane Steichen have? When was his first offensive coordinator job in the NFL? Tell me.
Listen to what I'm saying.
No. Tell me, because you want to bring up Shane Steichen being better than him. Shane Steichen's first job as part of an offensive coordinator was in 2011. Who was his mentor? Phillip Rivers. He had somebody that was able to help him game plan. He has a Hall of Famer in his corner. Who was Brian Johnson's person to give him any tips? He had 1 year where he really probably was inside of the offense where he was able to contribute anything. He didn't have no Hall of Famer. He had Phillip Rivers, bro. Then he was followed up by Justin Herbert, another great quarterback who he was able to put the same scheme on and put it in rotation.
Yeah, hey,
He's had
bro,
3 quarterbacks that are basically coaches. All you got to do is implement the game plan and run it. He's had somebody like Phillip Rivers, bro.
Bro, go ahead, DV. Go ahead, DV.
Going off of what you just said, bro. You said he had a Hall of Famer in Phillip Rivers, right?
For years. Years.
Cool. For years. And then he comes to the Eagles and he has who?
Jalen Hurts.
I'm talking about Shane Steichen. He has Jalen Hurts, right? Cool. Now, he had to deal with the run the damn ball little campaign that we were doing here in Philadelphia. He had to deal with all that, right? The next year he got better. Who was on that staff the next year? Brian Johnson is the quarterback coach.
You talk about 1 year?
Listen. Hear me out.
Hear me out.
Hear me out.
Oh, my bad, Stu. He went to the Colts too. He went with Phillip Rivers again.
He did. Listen, hear me out. What's the most important position in football?
Quarterback.
Cool. So now, he's the quarterback coach that needs to know where everything is going on. I'm talking about the Jeff Stoutland's offensive line. He needs to know about the running back coach.
He don't. He don't,
he need to know about that.
No, bro, that's not his job, bro. That's not his job, bro. I could call any quarterback coach and they'll tell you my job is the quarterback. That's why you hire. If the quarterback coach need to know all that, then why do you need an offensive line coach? Why do you need a wide receiver coach? And why do you need a running back coach?
Bro. How does a quarterback coach keep his job?
He needs to know how the quarterback is effective inside of the pocket delivering the ball. How is he effective in his best attributes?
What's the topic here, bro? What's the topic here?
He's trying to disprove why Brian Johnson shouldn't get a chance, and I don't understand it, bro. I don't.
I'm not saying he's going to get a chance. I'm saying me personally, I don't think that he's the guy, but I know that our organization is not going to fire him. So I have to root for him, but I don't have to agree with what he does.
You don't have to root for him at all. You could go on Twitter every day and put "fire Brian Johnson" as a tweet. And you could tag the Eagles in it, and eventually maybe it'll work.
I can't wait.
You don't have to You don't have to
fire
though.
Brian Johnson. #fire Brian Johnson. Let's make that trending on Twitter.
He's not
going
to
be a part of it, but I ain't gonna be a part of that.
No, listen, hear me out, bro.
I think a Hall of Famer like Phillip Rivers being in your corner, teaching you offense, teaching you how the game works as an offensive coordinator, helping you build your scheme is a lot different than your only interaction has been with guys like Dak Prescott and Kyle Trask. Those are the only 2 quarterbacks he's had outside of.
He got carried by Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers pretty much carried him.
No, he gave him tutelage. He brought him under his wing. Hey, look, this is how we gonna do things. This is how things work a little better. If we do this, we do that. Boom, we're gonna work together.
You're not wrong.
He was a rookie. He came in and he was and if you listen to him, if you listen to Shane Steichen, he give a lot of praise to Phillip Rivers. Even Jalen Hurts was like, hey, when I've been watching a lot of Phillip Rivers, you can hear Jalen Hurts say it. Why? Because that's the offensive scheme that Shane Steichen is bringing in. So yeah, I'm gonna watch tape of a guy that ran it for 3 years.
So what happens if the offense struggles in the next 4 or 5 games?
According to y'all, it's been struggling for 6 weeks.
So I mean, how long until Smitty says, "Hey, something needs to change"? Do you get this guy? How long of a leash does he have, bro?
I'm with y'all. Fire Brian Johnson. Fuck it.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do
I don't
that.
want to talk about it no more, bro. Y'all aggravate me, bro. I'm really like really hot right now because I ain't never seen no shit like this, bro. A man to be fired in 6 weeks, bro.
I'm not saying. I said
yes, you did. You said you want him fired. That don't make sense for me, bro.
No, listen. I said I would, but the organization is not. So I have no
you're
choice.
only cheering for him because he's here, but you want him out. So low key in the back of your head, you like, I want him fired. So that's not really cheering for him. That's like slick hating. I don't want him fired, and I don't want him out the building. I want him to have an opportunity to do a job that he's never done before, and I want it to be fair. I know the Philadelphia Eagle fan base ain't fair, but I am fair, and I'm an Eagle fan, so I'm going to treat him fairly.
And that's cool. That's what I'm saying. I don't want you to be pissed off. We're just having a debate, bro.
But that's crazy to me, bro. It's a debate. That's crazy. I got 2 people sitting here saying, fire Brian Johnson. Like, what the come on, bro.
Hey, bro.
I've never seen a dude come in and in 6 games, he got the number 1 offense.
Hey, bro.
Y'all talk about top offense. The Dolphins had a dude that had a Hall of Famer in his ear. Kyle Shanahan and Mike Shanahan gave Mike McDaniels all the tools.
Let me give you a reason why I'm saying what I'm saying. I'm a Philadelphia sports fan. We had to deal with Doc Rivers.
Come on, man. You believe in the process, man. You talking about fire somebody, man. Come on, bro.
Listen.
Come on, bro. That's wild.
Listen.
You've been waiting for the process for 8 years, and you ain't saying fire Joel Embiid.
Of course.
What are you
talking about?
Come on, bro. You talking about failures? He's been doing it for 8 years too. You want him fired too?
Bro, we going there?
I mean, we're going down the line of people. You trust the process with Josh Harris.
No, wait.
You were sitting around with Josh Harris for 8 years.
First of all, I've been said fire Joel. I said, Joel Embiid needs to go if he's going to sit up there and not show up in meaningful games in the second round. I've been said that, number 1. Number 2, I said Josh Harris needs to go because he's allowing all this BS to go on with Doc Rivers, Elton Brand and everything like that. That's number 2. Number 3, with the Philadelphia Phillies, the guy that they brought in.
Thank you, Mayor. Somebody on here is logical, bro.
The guy. Of course, they're gonna rock with you. Look,
there's a few people on here that's saying they logical, bro.
I'm talking to you.
I can't, bro, because you sitting here talking about something I can't agree with. I can't agree with firing our offensive coordinator in 6 weeks.
Bro, that's cool. We can agree to disagree, but at the same time, I respect your logic on it.
You don't, because you keep saying you want him fired. So let's just leave it alone. So because it's not going to go anywhere.
Listen, me not agreeing with you means that I don't respect it.
No, because you want him fired. Respect is like, damn, bro, I understand what you said. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. If I respect something, I stand on it with you. If I don't respect it, that means I'm not with it. That means I'm not with you on it. You said you want him fired. I don't respect that opinion of you wanting him fired because he hasn't had a proper chance. Now, if that's your feelings, I respect your feelings toward whatever you feel.
We're both saying the same thing, bro. We're saying the same thing, bro.
No, you said you respect what I said. Yeah, cool.
If he has a terrible year,
but
then
so
what?
if he go out Sunday and put a masterpiece, y'all can't come back here and be like, oh man, yeah, we shouldn't have said that. Nah. That's not fair either. So if you go out there and put up 600 yards, y'all can't come back and be like, man, I love Brian Johnson now.
No,
but you just said 6 weeks he didn't do nothing.
No, I'm not. I'm going to say he called a good game, but
we got the number 2 wide receiver in the league right now.
He needs consistency.
We got the number 3 running back in the league right now. Our quarterback top 10 in passing yards right now. We got the same yards we had last year. I can pull it up and show you. We got the same yards through 6 games as last year.
Bro, I do the same research as you. Would you really want to throw that out there? Because last thing I heard from you about the number 2 receiver in the league.
I'm pissed. I'm pissed that he's not passing. That he's not passing Smitty the ball. Yeah, 100% still pissed.
Exactly.
Still
So how can you
pissed.
throw that logic out?
But I'm not firing him. I told him to open up the playbook and do some more. Do some homework. Do some type of experimenting to learn something. You had an innovative offense when you were playing with Florida. Why are you not implementing some of those things? I've been telling you that for months.
It might not translate into the NFL.
How do you know if you don't try it? A nigga didn't know if he put wheels on a box, it was going to drive until he tried it.
I'm just saying it might not. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying that it might not. It might not. It might not
But it
equal up
might
to
do.
the, you know.
It might do. The same way it might not, and people want to be negative. That's why there is optimism. There's people that feel, okay, yeah, hey, look, if you don't try it, you can't know the results. That's why they have steps in science and all that stuff. You got to figure it out by doing the steps and actually putting the work in to see if it works.
So how long do we give Brian Johnson? How long do we give him?
I don't know, y'all. I can't tell y'all what to give him. Y'all obviously have not. Y'all obviously don't have any more trust.
Smitty, how long would you give?
That ain't for me. That's for me, bro. I'm gonna get. I ain't gonna give my opinion on it.
Come on, you can't even answer.
I don't even want to answer because it don't change your opinion. So the debate is for me to get you to agree with me, right? I already know I'm not gonna get either one of y'all to agree. How long
you give him until you begin to question his ability as a play caller?
I say we give him to the season. Because I know my logic, but I also know the Philadelphia Eagles is not going to sit up there and hire somebody in-house and just be like, yo, he on the hot seat. Give him this season to sit up there and see what he could do. I'm not going to sit up there and judge him off of these 6 games. But from what I saw in the 6 games, I would sit up there and say, yo, he's on a microscope. He is. Because of what I saw. Now, like I said, the scheme that he did in Florida in college might not regulate with what's going on in the NFL. It could be a little quicker. It could be something going on with that. But he's not calling certain plays like he did in college, number one. Number two, the plays that you're familiar with, it's not working either. And then we don't know how much Nick Sirianni has and a hold on or a call on what Brian Johnson is doing. So we don't know all those things. We're just going off of hypothesis. What we see on the field, he's the offensive coordinator and he was the quarterback coach, which means that he's going to put Jalen Hurts first. He needs to know what's going on with everything on the field. That's what my argument
now.
is.
So it doesn't matter how long anybody else want to give him. As of right now, he's on a hot seat. The fans and everybody else they have a spotlight already on him. Now you add a Julio Jones to already stacked offense. If this continues, I don't think he'll be the coordinator. I mean, after this season, he may not even last this season, honestly. He's already on the hot seat.
I don't know that. I don't know that.
Glass
I don't know that because I'm on record saying that he could turn it around. But as what I saw right now, I don't like what I see because I have a standard for my team, regardless of who's the coach, who's playing, who's one of the players or whatever like that. I root for the Eagles, and if I don't see the same type of standard in these wins or these losses as I saw last year, I do not. Like I'm right to judge that.
Yeah.
Period. That's where I'm at with it. I'm right to judge that. And if I don't agree with somebody or whatever like that, then it is what it is. But that's cool. Like I said, I respect what you're saying because I see your point. We're both just going back and forth. But it's not about making somebody side with you. It's more so that, hey, this is a valid point about Brian Johnson. And Brian Johnson is going to be your office.
Y'all said he fired. Fuck it. Get him out the building.
Brian Johnson is going to be the offensive coordinator for this year. As far as next year,
okay, bring in the offensive coordinator week 7 and see if we can figure it out by week 17. Fuck it. Okay. And then when that failed, y'all will say fire that dude too. So you can't win for losing at this
Something
point.
has to change. Period. Something has to change.
What's good, Eagle
Regardless if
Nation?
he's
What's
fired
good
or
with y'all?
not, we need to see some changes. We
So
need to
so
see
so Smitty,
improvements in the red
so
zone play
Smitty,
calling as a whole.
Smitty. So when I asked you about the Jets game, and you just start talking about Brian Johnson, you wasn't frustrated with him in that game?
Never would have said I wanted him fired. My and you can go back and watch the aftermath and all that. I was telling you to
No,
calm
no,
down
no, no,
because you
no.
were saying
I'm
this
talking.
since the Jets game. But
Yeah,
I did not have
yeah.
animosity towards him. I wanted him to change it up. I wanted him to do better, but I don't want him fired, bro. Y'all want
No,
the
I'm
man
not saying.
fired less than 90 days on the job.
I'm not saying you said that you wanted him fired. I'm saying that you didn't have frustrations with him
A
with the
small
Jets game.
amount, a small amount, a small amount. Not as big as everybody else. I wanted him to run the ball 10 more times. I wanted him to actually throw the ball from the 20 or the 15 into the end zone. That's probably my only two problems with him right now. He ran the ball outside of Jalen Hurts 14 times with running backs.
But he said he was okay with that.
If he's okay with it, then obviously he didn't see the game the way he should have. Maybe he and Jason Kelsey came out and backed him. He said it's hard for you to run the ball when you're only averaging 1.6 yards a carry. Y'all wanted him to keep running the ball at a 1.6 yards a carry clip?
So yeah, the mayor, that's a good question. What actually needs to change with this team?
I told you
Because
that. Red zone offense. We are great between the 20s, bro. Go look at the
he was
stats.
2 for 3 last
Yeah, but the
game.
week before that, he was 2 for 5, and the week before that, I think he was 2 for 6. Like, he's had some woes when we get inside that 20-yard line. Other than that, we drive down the field. How many times have y'all been watching the game and been like, dang, we should have kicked the field goal, but we went for it on 4th down. We did some dumb shit. Or
My question,
we drop our quarterback back, he gets sacked out of field goal range. Like,
I think personally, and this is going to big up BJ Pauls a little bit, Brian Johnson. I think those calls to go for 4th down is all Nick Sirianni. I don't think it's him.
It's Nick Sirianni.
I don't think it's him going for 4th down. If he had the choice to do it, I think he'd kick the field goal. Because Jake Elliott is Jake Elliott. Regardless of what happened last week, he's Jake Elliott. I think Nick Sirianni, just like that last year when he said go for 4th down and we got it, and he said, I know what the F I'm doing. Yeah, Nick Sirianni be the aggressive one. Brian Johnson is more conservative. And it's like, nah, we should kick this field goal, get these points, live to see another drive down the field, period. He would sit up there and do that. I agree with that. But Brian Johnson needs to, step it up. Right now, I got a microscope on him. That's all I'm saying.
And that's fair.
I have a microscope on him, and I know that he could get better, but I don't want him to overthink it either to the point where he's complexing this talent that we got on this personnel. We know what this talent can do. When we sat up there and got DeAndre Swift, we was like, yo, DeAndre Swift is going to be a beast behind this line. He was number 2 in rushing one week. He dropped to 5 or 6 right now because we stopped running the ball.
no, it's not. Ever since Cam Jurgens went down, bro, we've been struggling to run the rock. Really look at it. Since Cam Jurgens went down, we haven't had Swift over 100 yards.
I see your logic. I see that.
We're not even running.
You
We're running most of that to the left now because we don't trust Opeta.
We trust Opeta between 2 Hall of Famers, but we don't trust him with Driscoll on the end. I get that. But if you got Lane Johnson and Kelsey between him, well, on the opposite sides of him, I think he'd be all right. You see what he did with the Rams? I think he'd be all right. I'm not saying he'd be the best, but he'd be all right. They still try to attack him. But that's where the double teams come in at and everything like that. I think that you got to implement different schemes with every layer of the offense. And you got to be communicating with the offensive lineman. You got to be communicating with the receiver coach. You got to communicate with everybody. And that's why I thought, and that's my argument about Brian Johnson, that he should have been in that situation where it's though that he's talking to everybody, because that's the next step for him. The next step is to be the coordinator, which he is now. That was the next step. Hey,
from the
how
outside
do I
looking
do
in,
this?
you should be asking for pointers. You should be looking for toolage if you're looking to step up. But my whole point was he afforded that? It's easy for somebody that you're not inside the building, so it's easy for somebody like Nick Sirianni or Shane Steichen to be like, yeah, well, he was a part of the game plan. He was doing all this. He was doing all that. He's not going to come out and risk his job and be like, nah, I really wasn't helping with the game plan. I was just sitting in the room. They wasn't really giving me no tools to help. Because guess what? Now you biting the hand that feeds you. Now you be sitting at home like us, trying to start a podcast, talking on here.
What, bro?
Pause. Pause, man. Super pause, dog.
Hey, yo, Mayor, you my guy, bro. Yo, say sorry, bro. I'm messing with you, bro. I'm messing with you.
Bro, this man.
But yeah, that's weird, bro. First time you hit some cheeks was what?
First time you lost your juju to a chick was you an expert. He's like saying like, nah, it took you a couple sessions to get your groove going. He's saying Brian Johnson need a couple. Maybe the Jets game really was an overlooked game. Maybe he did overlook them. I need to see next week if you have any type of urgency, any type of aggressiveness towards an offense can put up points. You can't struggle between the 20s. If you got Julio, if he active or whoever on the field, you gotta execute, man. You gotta get in the end zone.
I'm gonna be PG-13 of what Mayor just said, and I'm gonna flip the script right now. If you go with somebody and they got their V card and all that, okay, yeah, it's not going to be your best experience. But if somebody's experienced and you're sitting up there like, hey, how do you like this? How you like this? Because each individual is different. You see what I'm saying? So that's not a good logic. It's really
you're gonna ask for pointers, right? But you're still not gonna execute 100%.
Okay. But at the same time, you got this personnel, bro.
All right, you got the personnel, but it's gonna take you some time. Now, look, 100%. If we all three of us sitting here, it was week 10, and we like 6-4, but we struggling on offense. We ain't scoring no points. Brian Johnson looked the same way he looked right now. I would be a little bit more on the curve of, hey, we need to be bringing somebody in to get him on track because he's not right now. I'm okay with him learning it. I'm okay with him taking a couple steps. Hey, look, let me find a couple things out.
Bro, that's the only thing that me and X was asking from you to say. That's it. That was it.
Week 10, I would be frustrated, but not in week 6.
No. Listen, hear me out. I understand that from you because you're like what you just said. You're okay with him learning now, right? But you said if we were 6-4, then you're like, hey, somebody needs to come in and everything like that. That's what we were asking. That's the only thing we were asking.
I still don't want him fired after week 10. I still don't want him out. I would ask for you to bring in an assistant, somebody that actually knows offense.
And that's
he's struggling.
Cool. And that's
all right, cool. Bring somebody
that's what
in.
we were asking. We was asking basically how long would you give him until something needs to change? That's the only question that we were asking.
But right now, you got to give him an opportunity to learn, bro. If you bring somebody in right now, let's not pay attention to Mayor. Mayor, some bullshit in the chat. Bro, y'all.
Mayor, you gotta chill, bro.
Agreed. Cash. First adversity moment of the year. Yeah, that is kind of our first adversity. Like
False.
first
That's
one we
false.
lost. First one we lost.
No, that's a loss. But it wasn't adversity because we were struggling. Both coordinators were struggling in these six weeks. You know, I can't count off the top of my head, what we saw, but they were struggling and they was getting it together. And we was like, okay, week 1, they was trying to figure it out. Week 2, they was trying to figure it out. And then what we said on Birds of Broad Street, we sat up there and said, hey, we're going to give them a quarter of the season to get their footing in to see where they are right now. We at week 6, bro.
And I think he's better week 6 than he was week 1.
Who?
Both coordinators.
Okay. We should see this game.
I think I'm saying like right now, I think going into week 7 against the Dolphins, Brian Johnson looked better than he looked day 1. Calling plays.
We just need to see consistency on offense and defense. Now, Sean Desai's been stepping up. I need to see Brian Johnson step up. That's why I said I got a microscope on him right now. If it was up to me, yes, I would fire him. I'm standing on that. But what I'm saying is, I know my organization won't stand on that because they've hired him within. So they're trying to give him a chance, like you said, that he's learning. I get it. But at the same time, we don't have time to learn because the standard is the standard. We're trying to get back to what we lost. We were the better team in the Super Bowl. It was bad play calling by another coordinator by the name of Jonathan Gannon that cost us this game. Our offense was rocking. That's where we're at with it. Our Eagles need another championship. At the end of the day, I'm rooting for the Eagles. If somebody's holding us back, yes, I'm holding them accountable. And that's where I'm at with it.
But Ash,
you can't be mad at that.
The reason I'm not killing Sean Desai is because the same problem I have with people comparing Shane Steichen to Brian Johnson is experience. This ain't Sean Desai first rodeo in the NFL. I'm not mad that nobody want him fired. If y'all want him fired, that's cool. I understand that you want him fired. You want him out the building. You want somebody new in, and that's cool. If they do that, then I hope it works out. I hope it do. If they fire him and Nick Sirianni take over, I hope Nick Sirianni don't go 2-5 again. Like, I'm cool. Like, I'm not defending. I'm not defending it again because I already said what I said. I'm cool. I want Brian Johnson here. I want him to learn. Y'all want him fired. That's the end of the story. Let's move on to talk about what we're gonna do against the Dolphins because we 2 hours and 30 minutes in, and the last 30 minutes has been about Brian Johnson getting fired.
Let's swing back to the Dolphins then. What's 3 keys to victory for each one of y'all so y'all can talk about, what we need to do to win this game?
X, you can go first.
Keys to victory, I would say you have to get to Tua, get some hits on him early, kind of rattle him. That's probably usually my first key to victory for every win. And my second key to victory would be strictly is offensively the last 2. You have to score in the red zone and 3rd and 4th down conversions. Keep the drive going, control the clock. And when you get in scoring position, you have to seal the deal. That'll be my 3 keys to victory for sure.
Go ahead, DB.
My keys to victory is don't establish the run early. Don't get away from the run. That's my only offensive key. Establish the run. Number 2, we have to win that matchup against the O-line. We have to get to Tua. We have to get the sacks on Tua. Make sure that he does not get the ball out quickly. He's doing that a lot more this season. It can really hurt us, especially if we're playing prevent defense to the point where we're not allowing the big plays, it could kill us. It's a drive killer. Number 3, I would say contain the wide receivers. Contain them. I'm not saying you can stop them. You're not going to stop them. Contain the wide receivers. If you contain the wide receivers, you got a chance. If Tyreek Hill is not exploiting our zone, you got a chance. You just have to really, 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 really tap in and lock in on your assignment. I don't want it to be we're tired or anything like that. I want us to control the clock as well. That's about 4, but that's a 4-stepper. But I want us to control the clock and keep that high power offense off the field. So that's my keys to victory right there.
Stop. Let's see. Stop the big plays. Contain the run. Cover the middle of the field. We do those 3 things, we can win the game. I mean, I think if we play great defense, we can win the game. So, slow them down. Make them play the long field, play field position. Stop the run and slow down the big play. I think we win the game.
What's your final score though of the game? Since it's Wednesday now.
28-24.
28-24? I'm still rocking with 31-27 Eagles. Still rocking with that. I think the Eagles go to show that it's standards, regardless of who you are. And like I said, when I was on with the Dolphins content creator, Jalen Hurts is looking for revenge on Tua. Period. This is the reason why Philadelphia fans, or some Philadelphia fans, wanted this to be the Super Bowl, because how everything just lined up perfectly. Number 1, number 2 is a dual wide receiver tandem against another dual wide receiver tandem, and they're going to actually be challenging each other as well. Also, it's going to be one at the line. Our pass rush, I trust it now more than ever, since we getting our foot in, especially Hassan Reddick having that cast off, Jalen Carter leading rookies in sacks, and just Jordan Davis just being Jordan Davis and being disruptive. I really think that our defensive line and our front 7 could get to Tua to the point where he's not getting anything off. Period. Pause. But he's not getting any play off. My final, like I said, my final score 31-27 Eagles. With that being said, man, Eagles about to win this game. They got us 2 points favorites, but of course they're going to give us that because we're home. I think we're going to bounce back from that loss, and we're not even going to be talking about the Jets' loss, as much. But at the end of the day, it's always fly, Eagles fly. It was just a little healthy debate about what's going on with Brian Johnson. I don't want to think that, anybody's beefing or whatever like that. We got different opinions, and that's okay, But overall, man, we all Eagles fans at the end of the day. Everybody in here is family. The mayor with that little pause situation that just happened a couple minutes ago, but that's still a bro. Overall, man, I think the Eagles just going to win this game. I really do. I really think that we're going to end up 6-1 in this game, and I'm just hoping that our coordinators and our coaching staff, period, get it together and call certain plays correctly to the point where we're putting ourselves in situations where we're winning that battle. Third downs, red zone, turnover battle, penalties. Holding those off of us to the point where the play calling is basically going against them. So we just got to play the game. We got to play the game and see where it happens, man. But that's Sunday night. It's going to be crazy. I don't even know if we're going to be able to do an aftermath after that, because it's going to lead into the next day. We're going to be shooting aftermath on Monday. I don't even know if people are still going to be awake there, but we got to put Miss Ash, I agree. We got to put the league on notice. 6-1, because the Dolphins is coming in thinking that this is one of those must-win games because we're one of the top teams in the league, and they already just been beating up on the weak teams, and they want to establish themselves as an elite team. So we got to let them know, like, look, it's levels to this. It's really levels to this, man. But like I said, fly Eagles fly, and 6-1. Here we come.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be an interesting Sunday, man. So y'all just prepare yourselves. I think defensively we're gonna play a good game. So I just want my defense to come ready. Yeah, man, it's gonna be all right. So until next time, I ain't saying nothing else about the offense. I ain't speaking on it no more. I'm gonna let my offense speak for me. I ain't doing no more talking about it. I sat here and wasted an hour, damn near and a half, crying for my coach. If he deserved to be fired, he deserved to be fired. So until he prove y'all wrong, I ain't saying no more. I'm done with it.
I want him to prove me wrong. But as it stands right now, I'm not seeing anything great from him or good from him.
But you're talking about a dude that's been on the job less than 90 days. So I mean, hey.
I'm just saying plays here and there. But like I said, if it was me, I would. But like I said, my organization, I gotta rock with that. I have to, because it's not me calling for his job. It's them putting him on that pedestal on if he's on the hot seat or if he's still learning. They're giving him more time and being patient with him. So I gotta go with that, because if we sit up there saying trust Howie, we gotta trust the whole organization. Jeff Lurie, we gotta trust everything. So if Brian Johnson is their guy, then I gotta rock with it until I say, okay, I told you so. Or if he proves me wrong, that he's the guy and he just had to figure it out. So I hope he proves me wrong. I'm on record saying that too. I hope he proves me wrong, but as of right now, if it was me, if I was Jeff Lurie, you gotta go, bro.
That'll be the craziest move ever in history of football. But people have done it, and they will turn out to be. If you fire people 6 weeks in, you turn out to be the Chicago Bears, man. Purgatory.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Like I said, man. Like, look, it was just a friendly debate. Yeah, it got a little heated, but at the same time, all is well with Inside the Nest. Like I said, I just wanted to, speak my side, just like Smitty spoke his side, and I'm listening to him, and I get it. But I'm just letting him know how I feel. So if he proves me wrong, I will be the first one to sit up there and be like, yo, Brian Johnson is calling some plays. Look, maybe I jumped the gun too quickly. But as I
we gotta stop
now,
doing that as fans, though, bro. And then y'all be wondering like why players leave, and then be like, I hated my whole stay in Philly. I didn't want to be there because the fans love you because you put up 40, but they hate you when you come out and be 2 for 14. You gotta take the good. I'm a Kobe fan, so when I talk about basketball, I'm sorry, y'all, but I didn't care what Kobe did on the court. Like, I was in love with his game. I was there. I'm dialed in. If Kobe came out and went 0 for 30, I'm gonna be like, nigga, you still trash. Next week I'll come in there and put 40 on your head. Like, but as fans, bro, we killing that man for being 5-1.
I want to answer Twiz's question real quick.
You know how many people out here right now want to be 5-1? And not 0-5 or 0-3, 4, whatever. I don't think we got no team that ain't won no more, right? No.
I want to
answer 0-6. The Panthers.
I didn't call for Jalen's job because just like Bro said, just like Smitty said, and I know that Brian Johnson is learning. I know that he doesn't have that much experience in the NFL as a coordinator. I know that. But my argument is just the standard of what we.
Ooh, hold on. I ain't even see that comment. Yeah,
No,
twins. Yeah, twins. Why you ain't calling for Jalen job?
listen, hear me out. The reason why I'm not calling for Jalen's job because I seen what he did last season. What's the only thing besides adding
So
DeAndre Swift that changed on
but
offense?
you're allowing Jalen Hurts to have a resume, right? You're giving him his resume, right? Because when we were
He already had to
hold
add
on.
resume.
But going into last year, you were saying, hey, look, we should give him a chance, even though it was a lot of people out here saying we should take his job, right?
The only reason
Because
why
that 9-8 season and that game against Tampa was crucial.
hear me out. The only reason why I said that give him a chance because he was coming up on a contract year. We were trying to see if he was the guy, number one. And I don't like I'm on record saying this too. I don't like seeing black quarterbacks lose their job. I don't care who it is.
So it's a double standard.
No, it's not.
You'll get a black quarterback his job, but won't get a black offensive coordinator his job.
No, I do get the back coordinator's job. I'm also on record saying that Brian Johnson will be the perfect fit for the job because.
And then 90 days later, you said fire him.
Because it's more so like, look, listen, hear me out.
Hey, look, I'm listening. It's like, listen. Jalen Hurts should get a chance after being whatever he did, but Brian Johnson shouldn't get a chance. I don't get it.
What changed? What changed in the offense?
Brian Johnson becoming an offensive coordinator for the first time.
Right.
So
now,
opportunity.
I don't know about you. No, listen, I don't know about you, bro. But I want to go back to the Super Bowl and have the opportunity to win the Super Bowl.
But how do we know that it won't happen under Brian Johnson? You have gave the man 30 days 3 times. We're not even 90 days in yet. We are at 6 weeks. 6 weeks is a month and a half. And you said, hey, look, put him on the street after a month and a half of doing something he's never done before. 6 weeks, bro. You got to think about the drasticness of what you're saying. You're telling a man a month and 2 weeks, you need to be perfect on the job. And that's not possible,
No.
DB.
So listen. So what everybody is saying, and you and everything like that, is that I should not be mad at Brian Johnson.
Not 100%. You should be mad at Brian Johnson, but not to the point of firing him.
Listen. Hear me out. I shouldn't be mad at Brian Johnson because of the logic that you're saying is that he's still learning and he didn't have that many days to prep and everything like that to become the offensive coordinator that I thought he was going to become. But I should be mad at the Philadelphia Eagles to think that he was the guy.
No, you should be mad at him not performing yet. But how long you been on your job, DV? Before we get out of here, how long you been on your job?
The job that I'm at now?
Yeah, or just in that field in general.
Oh, I'm there 8 years.
How would you have felt if a month and 2 weeks in they came in and said, "Hey, look, I know we just hired you, but you ain't performing your job well. We finna fire you." You'd have been like, "What? I just got here. You haven't gave me the opportunity to learn. Let me figure it out real quick. Like, I'm learning. I'm obviously getting better. I'm not getting blowed out. I'm scoring points. Can I figure it out just a little bit before you tell me I got to hit the door?" I've been on my job 5 years. If he would have came to me at a month and 2 weeks and be like, "Hey, bro, we about to let you go, man. You ain't learned it yet." I'd have been like, "Hold on, player. Like, I just got here. I was doing something else for 5 years before I got here. Like, I got to figure it out. Give me a second." That's all I'm saying to you, DV. I understand you being frustrated. I understand you being like, hey, you're not executing your job to the ability that I expected you to. But right now, I'm like, hey, look, I got to give you the opportunity to perform. I have to see it in full display. That's why I said, like, week 10, I could sit back in the bye week and be like, all right, I didn't see Brian Johnson progress after that Jets game. All right, now I can be a little bit more on the side of I'm a little bit more nervous if he can accomplish the job. But at week 6, I'm at like, all right, I think he still can do it because I have seen 2 good games out of him. I seen the Rams game. I seen the Bucks game. Now, outside of that, it's been a complete struggle on offense. But I gotta say, okay, out of the 6 weeks, you had 2 good ones. Can we add on to the good ones and not add on to the bad ones? I can't. Thank you, Ash. I don't want to put it all on Brian Johnson and be calling for his job because there's plenty of people we really could put the blame on.
It's not all on Brian Johnson. Just to be clear, it's not all on Brian Johnson because players.
It's the only job we calling for.
No, listen, hear me out. Players have to execute. In any profession, in sports, if a team is not performing the way they need to perform, regardless if they winning or losing, who's the first to go? The coach is first to go, not the player. It's the coach. So this is why I'm like that, right? But it's not all on Brian Johnson. And I'm on record also because people are saying that I'm not calling for Jalen Hurts and all that. Yeah, he had 7 interceptions. He's not the same Jalen Hurts that I'm used to.
He's on the trajectory to have the same season as Jameis Winston for the Bucks.
Ooh.
Jalen Hurts, 30 for 30. That's on the trajectory he's on right now.
It's going to slow down.
But that's what I'm saying. You see the benefit you just gave Jalen Hurts is going to slow down. Right? You just said that, right? But you didn't give Brian Johnson no benefits. You didn't say, "Hey, man, I'm gonna give him a couple more weeks to figure it out."
But I said that it's going to slow down because I'm banking on and hoping that the offense, but right now I don't believe it. I'm hoping that it gets better, but I don't believe it right now. But if it does get better, then Jalen Hurts is not going to be turning over the ball as much. If it does get better. Now, if it's the same, then it's like, Joe, what are we talking about here?
All I'm saying, it's a hard task with a month and 2 weeks. What is that? 44 days to be like, hey, we gotta fire him. 44 days in.
I want both coordinators to be great. But as of right now, I don't see.
So without you saying anything else, right? Look, can you go back and say I was right?
About
Sean Desai, Brian Johnson. We here.
I'm right. You're right about Sean Desai.
No. What I said was y'all were gonna give Sean Desai more leeway than you gave Brian Johnson, and you and Pro Fan Talk told me, hell no, we're a defensive town. Look where we at. Brian Johnson and Sean Desai struggled for 5 weeks. Sean Desai shows up and has 2 good games, just like Brian Johnson, and who we saying get fired. I ain't heard nobody say fire Sean Desai. It's all Brian Johnson. And that's exactly what I said when we started the season. Me and you were sitting right here with Pro Fan Talk.
You did say that. But the just like I said earlier, the reason why is because the injuries that he had to deal with, the things that we had to do to actually win ball games against the Rams, and how he held the Jets, even though it was a Zach Wilson-led offense, just like he led that besides the final score for a touchdown, because he felt the Eagles felt like that the struggling offense is supposed to be the savior of that game. I don't get it.
I'm just saying, Ash. That's exactly what I said. I knew we was gonna kill Brian Johnson. I knew it. deep down inside, I was like, Brian Johnson and Sean Desai. And you remember my example? They have the same type of season down the stretch. Who get jumped on first? I was like, Brian Johnson. Y'all said Sean Desai. They've been almost even down the stretch. I can the same way you just gave Sean Desai positives on what he did. I can do the same thing for Brian Johnson. Week 1, playing against one of the greatest minds in the NFL when it comes to defense. Seeing a defense you have never seen in your life, figuring it out, figuring how to get down the stretch. The Minnesota game, obviously it was simple, but running the ball when you know you want to pass the ball so bad, when that's your biggest attribute, you hand the ball off. In the Bucks game, master class from Brian Johnson. He executed all over the board. He had one super bad game where you really can be like, damn, it looks like he really wasn't calling the right. But in that game, we had 4 turnovers and nobody was executing. And we averaged 1.6 a carry. Like, I'm adding all those things against him too. Like, dang, how can you do it when you're struggling to run the ball to the right side of the offensive line when you have Sua Opeta who is not helping you in the run game? Like, most of our carries since Cam Jurgens went down has been to the left side where you trust the line, where you trust Landon Dickerson. Other than that, we have been playing the extension of the run, which he called it today, in the screen game, which I think he's overusing with Dallas Goedert. Like, I wanted him to use it, and then he overused it. I'm cool with everybody being upset because you expect it to look better. Everybody expects it to look better. You have 2 number ones. You got a top 3 tight end. You got a top 5 running back. You got a top 3 offensive line. Like, you got all the pieces. I agree with y'all totally on all that. But with all that, you still have to learn how to use it. I could give you a fast car that's manual, but if you've never drove a stick before, you're probably going to blow out the clutch. That's all I'm getting at. Like, just give him a moment. Let's see if he really can. All right, they ain't executing this. This ain't working. Let me see if I can. I seen him put some things in the bits and pieces here and there. You know what I'm saying? Can he get a full game? I don't think our offense and our defense yet on either game has played a full game.
That's my thing, right? I think that we are agreeing on certain aspects of our arguments against Brian Johnson. Like I said, if it was me, I'm on the verge of termination. But I have no choice because the organization is basically not going to fire him because he's hired within number 1. They believe in Brian Johnson. And I have no choice but to believe in Brian, or have hope for Brian Johnson to get better in his play calling. But as far as right now, I don't see it. Just like you said about Sean Desai. Sean Desai did have 2 good games that you can recall. But at the same time, Sean Desai, I felt like he had to deal with more adversity than Brian Johnson. Now, Brian Johnson, I felt like that he could have simplified his play calling in red zone offense. He could have did certain things to be like, yo, okay, he's not just thinking about Jalen Hurts. He's running the ball with DeAndre Swift.
We average 1.6, DV. Why would you keep running the ball at that pace? 3 runs and you're kicking a punt with 4th and 4. 1.6 yards a carry. You can't keep running the ball, bro.
Bro, I'm on record. When we first started the game, we were passing the ball. The defense opened up its lanes to run the ball, whereas though when they close up, like, you could go right back to passing the ball. They weren't balanced. This is why that question was critical of Brian Johnson when he asked them, were you okay with the ratio?
And then Kelsey explained why it was okay. We weren't averaging enough on the ground to actually do that when your offense is already not progressing in yards. 1.6 yards a carry is putrid. Outside of Jalen Hurts, nobody was getting yards, bro. Think about it. Kenny Gainwell had the longest carry of the day for 11 yards. 11 yards, bro. The longest carry of the day for the running backs.
What you call longest carry was 9.
9.
Yeah, it was 9.
He had 9
DeAndre
and
Swift.
Gainwell had 11. So I mean, like it was 2 carries that was under 15 yards. That was the greatest carries we had, and then we averaged 1.6.
Time out. Because I'm not doing that. What are you talking about, D Jones? What are you talking about?
He's saying believe. He's saying believe in God and let God do the judging. That's what he's saying.
What?
If you read all his stuff, he's like be patient, speak life. He said, your name is King. Speak life into others. Don't speak destruction.
Bro, I have no choice to be patient with Brian Johnson. I'm just going off of what I felt. Now, Brian Johnson, like I said, and I'm on record saying it earlier, before we get out of here, if he flips it around and basically figure it out and our offense is clicking on all cylinders, I'll be the first one to get on this show or on my channel if you're subscribed to me and say, yo, Brian Johnson turned it around. I apologize if I jumped the gun early. The reason why, to answer your question, Smitty, that Philadelphia Eagles fans or Philadelphia sports fan does this so early, is because we have a standard, because we sitting up here invested in this team, and the team is not performing the way that we thought that they were going to perform because of the personnel. And this is starting with the coaching staff. Now, I agree with you that the patience of Brian Johnson should be there with Philadelphia Eagles fans. I agree with you there wholeheartedly. But at the same time, we can't fault Eagles fans for sitting up there saying, hey, this is not the standard of what we're playing at now. We're supposed to be a Super Bowl contender.
Okay. I understand that, right? But being that way, being that way as a fan base, right? It's cool. I've been dealing with our fan base for a long time, and everybody be like, "You so calm as a fan." Like, what did being rowdy and being jumping the gun gotten us? 2 Super Bowls in 5 years, and we 1-1. We 1-3 in the Super Bowl. Like, we can be easy a little bit. We last year we had an easy ride. Let's not panic because we're having a little tougher ride this year. Like, I understand what people want. They want to see the flawlessness we seen last year, but that also was 2 years of being in one system. It was 2 years of being in one system. Everybody that step on that field is bringing their A game. Every team. I don't care if it's the Bears, the Panthers, when they step on the field, they bring in everything they got. They rather leave out of the stadium dead than let us win. And that's metaphorically speaking. They come with all they got. So obviously Brian Johnson is seeing things he probably has never seen as a coordinator, as a quarterback coach, as a coordinator in college. Like, it's probably stuff he's never seen because I remember at one point, DV, me and you were sitting here saying his first 3 games was against 3 of the best defensive minds in the game. You gave him a pass for that, but then he comes back 3 weeks later and you like, dang, you ain't doing enough. Like,
because this is how I felt about it. And this is my mindset. My mindset is everybody agreed, especially on Birds of Broad Street, when it was just being you, whoever we had on here. We got to give him at least a quarter of the season to get his footing.
And at week 4, I'm still the same person I was week 6. I think he had 3 tough matchups off the rip. I think Bill Belichick, to me, is probably the greatest, if not one of the greatest, if not the greatest defensive mind to ever step on a football field and orchestrate a defense. I think Brian Flores, learning from him is probably top 7 in the league right now, defensive coordinators. And then week 3 was Commanders. They have a good defense in general. And Jack Del Rio is no slouch. He's been in the league for a long time. So I think he had a couple matchups where he struggled. But I also think like he's getting it together. It might take him 2 more weeks. We might see a master class Sunday and then everybody coming back like hip hip hooray. But right now, I gotta give him the benefit of the doubt because I have faith. I can't sit here in the summertime and be like, I have faith in you, and then when you fail just a little bit, I don't have any more faith. I gotta stand on the faith I put into him.
I think I know where the disconnect at. I think the disconnect is I'm more about the personnel and putting that all together. Instead of coach development. That's the disconnect. I felt like that your argument is he's still learning the system and basically the personnel that he has and putting it all together. Whereas though I'm more like the personnel hasn't changed as much.
But for him, it's all new. For you, it hasn't changed because we on the outside. We're sitting at home. We're looking at it like, okay, we only added one piece. It should be the same. For him, it's all new. It's all new. For us, it looks like, hey, we added one piece. Like just like the year before, people were like, hey, we only added AJ Brown. He said it's Scoob. So he must be you must know who he is. Old school. Probably. He said probably. Old school, don't get it twisted. I think you know Scoob.
I probably do. But I know a Scoob. I know a Scoob. He changed his name. Need a what?
I don't know. But like I'm saying, us as fans, we seeing it from here. Like me too. I've agreed that the roster hasn't had much turnover on the offensive side of the ball. But now I'm looking at it in the perspective of it's new to him.
Yeah.
He said, it's me. He said, you know what, Scoob, it's me.
Know who Scoob is? I know who Scoob is.
Okay. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Like, you know, it's just new to him. Maybe he just needed, you know, I'm giving him an extra few weeks just to figure it out, bro. When we go into the Dolphins' house, I think we'll see it. I think when we go in this, I mean, the Dolphins come to our house, I think we'll see a different game. I think he's gonna open up a little bit. I think he been persecuted, man. I think somebody done said something to him. I think he's a little bit more motivated than usual. I think he's gonna execute, man. I have all the faith.
I hope you're right, and I hope I'm wrong. That's what I'm saying. I hope you're right, and I hope I'm wrong. And like I said, I would get on here and say, yo, I was wrong, whatever, but not the Miami Dolphins game. It has to be consistently. You know, once he found that footing in the offense, it has to be consistently that I'm like, all right, I see where everybody logic was, whereas though it takes time. Then I can say, hey, I was wrong. And I'm saying this, okay, Cowboys game. If it's consistent, Miami, Commanders, Cowboys game, then I'm like, all right, I was wrong. I see where it's going with it. That's where I'm at with it. But yo, like we about like 3 hours in, bro. Like just talking back and forth football, man. I'm happy that everybody or whoever stuck it out with us, man. I know that, you know, it got heated, but you know, just trying to, you know, understand the logic of how people view the team and things like that, man. It's going to get heated, but at the end of the day, we all love the Eagles, things like that, man. It was a great show as usual, man. I don't even know where our guests went, but as always, it's Fly Eagles Fly, man. Like I said, it's going to be 6-1, 31 to 27. I think Smitty said 28 to 24, something like that. Mm-hmm. But anyway, man, it was a great conversation, man. Great content, as usual, man. Look, we just looking at things on different sides of the coin. But like I said, I hope I'm wrong. And I hope that Brian Johnson does prevail. You know, I don't want him to actually get fired, but if it was me, like I said, that's where I stand. But yeah, I hold Jalen Hurts to the same standard. I hold him to the same standard because I root for the Eagles, not just Jalen Hurts. I root for the Eagles, regardless of who on my shirt right now. But I root for the Eagles. But yeah, man, we about to close this thing up, man. You got any last words, Smitty?
But to tell me I came out with DeAndre Swift over
That point
Bijan.
where Jordan Davis